Hey everybody, today we're debating whether or not men today are more wimpy, and we are starting right now with the yes side, in particular, ZHERKA. Thanks for being with us. The floor is all yours.
Okay, so hey guys, ZHERKA here, and today we're talking about are men in 2023 wimpy? I mean, this goes without saying. There's like every single meme on the internet is related to this topic. Are men, like, let's just look at men coming out of high school. What are we seeing? Is dudes with butt plugs and furry tails, Zoomers that are furries, letting their girlfriends get fucked by other men. They're getting pegged. And this is like a common thing. They're getting pegged to impress their girlfriend that's not even theirs. I mean, they have an open relationship as they're exploring their gayness. And most of these guys aren't even gay. They're just trending, they're just going with the trend. And there's this softness to it where it's like, you don't really see like 1950s macho men anymore. You see this kind of like Hunter Avallone, mainstream media, Masonic media program, we'll call them neo males, where it's like all they want to do is play StarCraft, and they don't ever lift weights. They don't do anything manly. They don't ever like protect their tribe, and they don't fight for their woman. You see their women on subways getting beaten up, and they do nothing about it. And then you also look into the gynocentric world that we're in, and how in media, corporate, finance, every level of society, they promote this feminization of men. You see Gillette commercials too. They know 80% of the consumer market, the women hold the credit cards, so they make even feminine Gillette like razor commercials directed towards more feminine type people, because they know the world is changing. This whole just to be masculine now is considered toxic. It's actually crazy, and they're giving us all these quotas, and they're trying to push from top down. They're trying to make this whole women can do it too. Men and women are kind of equal, and women can definitely join the military, but we're not going to make them do like 5 fucking pull-ups. They don't have to do any pull-ups to just join. And so when you lower the standards for women to make it more equal with men, because men are smarter than and stronger than women in every single way, on average, it's like, of course you're going to see men lack masculinity when you don't incentivize for it. Also, I think it's something in the water too, in the food. Something's making these, like, Hunter Avallone is having some kind of fluoride water every day that made him go from right-wing trans hater, right, like the good old days, to, and I think that was bad. I think he was a very evil person for hating the trans community back in his day. But now he's like had enough of that soy, Florida atrazine water. Now Hunter has become this "I'll let anyone bang my wife" type attitude. I don't know if he does that, but he's definitely on board with people being in open relationships and acting totally feminine. And it's like, when you think of your most confident moments in life, it was when you were the most masculine. When you think of the moments in your life where you had the least depression, anxiety, despair, it was when you were the most masculine. But now they're encouraging us to be little wimps, and it's kind of stupid that we're pretending, well, maybe it's not out there. The question is not, have men become wimpy? It's the real question is why, because we all agree they've become very wimpy, especially since World War II, when men were men. But yeah, I'll give it off to someone else and make America great again.
All right. Am I next?
We'll switch it over to Alex. The floor is yours as well.
Yeah, you're next, Alex.
All right, cool. So I figured it would be very appropriate for me to wear my hardcore Russian hat, which I got for filming a video that we're going to do pretty soon. We're going to pick up girls as a Russian spy. But I think this is very appropriate for the topic. I'm going to keep my speech very short. I'm going to make 3 points why I think men are definitely wimpier today, and I think several of them are very objective. First of all, testosterone levels are lower than they've ever been for the average male. This is scientifically undeniable. They've done tests on this. And on average, men have very low testosterone levels now compared to what they used to have. Testosterone is directly correlated to just roughly how manly you are. Of course, it's not the only metric, but definitely plays a role. You take a guy who has very low testosterone, he's going to be less manly than the guy who has higher testosterone. That's the first metric. The second metric is the incel rates. They're just way higher than they've ever been. We're at about 25% of men under 30 report being never having had sex, right? Back in the day, in 2008, I think it used to be like 8%. So so men are not having sex, right? Which, again, because a lot of women not find them attractive, the testosterone levels are lower. And the third metric, this one may sound somewhat subjective, but every single girl I've ever interviewed, which is dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, have all said the same thing. Men today are becoming wimpier. They're not manly enough. You know, I like a guy who's masculine. A lot of these guys are not that masculine, and that's what's turning off. That's why I'm single, blah, blah, blah. So I'm coming at it from a anecdotal perspective and also from a scientific perspective why men are definitely wimpier today. That's basically all I have to say. Now I can take off my Russian hat.
You got it. Thank you very much for that opening. We are going to kick it over to the no side as well. But if it's your first time here at Modern Day Debate, want to let you know, folks, we're glad you're here no matter what walk of life you are from. As well as, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We have many more debates coming up here at Modern Day Debate. And with that, thank you very much to the no side for being with us. The floor is all yours. Hunter.
Sure. Well, first and foremost, thanks so much for having me on here. So I know I'm on the no side of things, but I'm kind of more or less in the middle side of things. I do think that it really comes down to how you're defining wimp. So if you look at the definition of wimp, right, it just means an ineffectual, cowardly, and weak man. So weak, if we're talking about physical strength, similar to what Alex said, yes, then if we're going to measure wimpiness based on physical strength, then men nowadays are definitely wimpy.
You want to see weak. Try the mirror.
Got to give Hunter a chance to do his opening as well.
Calm your tits, buddy.
Well, it's okay, ZHERKA. I know the estrogen levels are probably peaking over there, causing you to act all sorts of catty and bitchy and whatnot, but we'll get to that in a minute. What I was getting at a minute ago was just that what Alex said is that the testosterone levels are going down. They are lower than ever before, and that's true, partially because the type of employment that men are engaged in now does not require as much physical strength. So testosterone being as high as it was isn't actually as needed as much. Incel rates, though, another good example. I also think, though, that a lot of men are quote unquote wimpy and cowardly because they are socialized to specifically be cowardly of themselves in a way. This idea that you need to suppress your feelings or suppress emotions is cowardly, ultimately. It might not intuitively seem that way, but it really is. It is cowardly to run away from real emotions that you are experiencing, and rather than dealing with it in a healthy way, try and just suppress it because you might make your crush a little bit turned off when she sees you getting sad. Like, that's the cowardly
she might leave
approach
you
to
forever.
Go. So it's much better to instead just know. ZHERKA, chill, my friend. Again, it's much better to recognize your emotions, recognize the time and the place to express those emotions, and recognize the situation, obviously, and act appropriately. The last thing I'll say is ZHERKA actually brought up how nowadays masculinity is called toxic. And I've talked a lot about toxic masculinity. Specifically, I will concede right away that there are quite a lot of dumb cucks on Twitter who, yes, they will say anytime a man does anything they don't like, it's toxic masculinity. But toxic masculinity, what that's really referring to is a collection of social expectations placed on men that are actually harmful to men. Specifically, hey, you're a man, so you shouldn't cry or you shouldn't be showing these emotions. So in ZHERKA, you bring up the 1950s macho men aren't really around that much. I don't know if that's that much of a problem, because a lot of those guys, although maybe they gave the appearance of masculinity and physical strength, were emotional wrecks. They were abusive towards their wives. They were overall pieces of shit. This is not necessarily the type of masculinity that I think we should be going back to. So long story short, are men nowadays wimpier? I definitely think if we're talking physical strength, yes. If we're talking emotionally, I think that we're headed in a good direction where men are able to be less cowardly when it comes to dealing with their emotions. Unfortunately, we're not quite there yet. So there's still a lot of socialization in regards to men being wimpy.
Thanks for that. We'll kick it to Ashley before we go into the open dialogue.
Howdy, howdy, hi. I'm Ashley, not your everyday Ashley, XOXO. Being the only female on this panel, I will just go with my take on this, obviously. I believe that masculinity nowadays is kind of defined by women, right? Arguably, if a man were to be his natural self, he'd be what? More sexual, observant, aggressive, decisive, physically strong, competitive, successful at work, blah, blah, blah. The same traits now, though, are being displayed by females, and it's being considered empowering. So I don't know that it's necessarily that men are becoming more wimpy. It's just that they're actually having to match women, basically. I think that that's where this whole argument comes from. And then if we want to talk about wimpy, or AKA masculine, right, you would say that like the definition of masculinity, there's not like it's very broad. It's just saying considered to be characteristics of men, marked or having qualities, features, etc., traditionally associated with being men, right? So I guess my main stance would just be that it's not that men are becoming more wimpy and less masculine. It's that the world is evolving, and there is a certain group or sector of men that are having trouble keeping up and evolving with them, because whereas used to they could be mediocre, now they actually have to be better than mediocre, because more women are able to be better than mediocre. Okay, so the playing level and the bar has been risen, and you guys just have to kind of catch up. Another thing ZHERKA said about like, oh, well, there's so many men that he likes to talk about relationship styles, cucking, and sexual preferences, being pegged, etc. I would argue that actually since the dawn of humanity, there's been a lot of hidden homosexual tendencies in men. I think that a huge thing, reason why this is becoming more prevalent or like known now is it's just simply technology. It's social media. It's the fact that we have all these videos and people and vlogs and YouTube stories available on the internet. It's becoming more normalized, but it's always actually been a thing. I'm sorry that threatens your masculinity, though. And I guess that would just be my biggest, my kind of take on that. I'll pass it off.
You got it. With that, we're going to jump into the open dialogue. Do want to say, folks, as mentioned, glad that you're here at Modern Day Debate. We are a neutral platform hosting debates on science, religion, and politics. We hope you feel welcome no matter what walk of life. And the table is set. Let's get to the main course.
ZHERKA, do you mind if I go first?
Unmuted you, ZHERKA. So, ZHERKA, you should be able to, I'll click unmute again, just so you're able to unmute yourself, and that way you'll be able to talk. I will mute if everybody's talking over each other.
ZHERKA, do you mind if I go first? I have
not at all. Destroy these fucking clowns.
Okay. All right, so first of all, this is a little bit of a random side point, but it's an important one. So, Hunter, you said that testosterone lowers your physical strength. That is true, but it doesn't only affect your physical strength. It affects your overall mental well-being. If you have low testosterone, you are less likely to be confident and assertive. Will you agree with me on that?
I mean, if we're talking about like dangerously low levels, then yeah, that's fair. But if we're talking about like what's happening here, which is just a steady decrease of testosterone, that's much more so because of employment.
Well, that's not necessarily true, but we're talking about the difference between a testosterone level of between like an average of 700 and 300. 300 would be not considered like dangerously low, you're going to die, but it is twice as low. And men who go on testosterone replacement therapy, and me being one of them, report that afterwards that you do feel more confident, you do feel more assertive, you do feel more grounded, right? That's just a very common knowledge for anyone who's ever taken.
Because it's natural for men to have higher levels of testosterone than women. Okay, so when you say strong and confident, et cetera, what does that have to do necessarily with masculinity, though? Because I think you're mainly talking about like your sex drive and energy level.
No, I'm not. Because if we could show that testosterone is directly related to your confidence and assertiveness, and we can show that testosterone is.
I don't think you can though.
Well, you can look that up. I'm not as concerned about that, because if you're going to say that, hey, testosterone levels are naturally decreasing with every generation, this can be leading to men being less assertive, which can be detrimental, then that's fine. That's a conversation to be had. And again, I never really contested this even. I mean, yeah, the testosterone levels are going down. And if you're telling me it has... thing? Well, hold on. I'm saying if you're telling me it has
you got to take a hard stance here. Is that a bad thing?
No, I don't need to take a hard stance. I'm trying to finish my first point here. So hold on a moment.
Here we go.
What I'm saying is that if the testosterone levels are getting down to a place, again, where it's not healthy, then we can talk about that. But I never disagreed that testosterone levels are dropping. And if you're telling me they have problems with or can cause issues with mental well-being, then we should talk about that as well.
But that's directly related to the argument.
But what does this have to? So what can we do to change that then, specifically?
How can we change it for men? Well, largely for men, it involves their diet and their sleep and their physical routine, right?
So encouraging people to go exercise more. We would agree on that one, probably.
Right. I mean, exercise is a small part of it, but that's we're getting off to a side tangent. I'm trying to prove a point that men today are wimpier than they were back in the day. And the evidence I'm using for that is the fact that, it's beyond dispute that men have lower testosterone levels. And it's also beyond dispute that testosterone is directly related to your confidence. So if you have lower confidence because of your hormones, you are going to be more wimpy. Is that not so?
Sure. Do you not think that though hormone levels in men and women are actually both?
Well, why don't we just look at? Why don't we look at?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's not.
Thank you, lady. Thank you for that. Why don't we look at? Maybe it's anecdotal, but let's look at Hunter. When he started YouTube, he was filled with testosterone. And then it slowly kind of just.
Why do you always go down to these like weird insults? You realize when I started YouTube, people. Wait, hold on.
Because he only likes to make arguments.
How the fuck is that an
insult? When I started YouTube,
that's actually the only compliment I'll ever give.
He's not actually intelligent.
People, when I started YouTube, people made fun of me for looking like an anorexic twink.
Like, right, but you didn't.
No one said I had. No one said
Hunter,
I looked masculine. I've never been a particularly masculine-looking guy, but I think that this is almost a side point.
I think that a better. When you started YouTube, you didn't have like a defeated feminine temperament. You used to actually speak different, sound different. Yeah, it was actually like it's like night and day.
I had no idea. I had no idea you were such a fan.
And then you started deciding to implement toxic masculine talk into your game, and then
it's almost like I took Hunter's fucking testosterone. Because I became more, he became a lot
every time
less.
We have these conversations with these red pill people, and you guys are so obsessed with masculinity, you inevitably end up saying something really gay sounding. It's always hilarious. But again, let's try.
Where was the gay thing? Where I missed
by saying you took away my testosterone. I don't know. It just sounded a little bit. It could have some innuendos there.
And your obsession with getting pegged and better weird cucking things.
No, but Hunter,
guys, wait, please. Can we let's stop?
Example.
Let's stop with the dick measuring contest here, because
when Hunter, when you were successful, right, and a Republican. Something in Hunter's psyche changed. Like maybe you
swallowed the load of my testosterone.
I know what it was, Hunter.
When you were on your knees.
Your wife softened
you up. It was when you were on your knees.
Your wife
the load of turned
you into your wife turned you into a Democrat, right, Hunter?
My wife actually, no, not at all. That's another
really. She had no influence living with her.
Can we move?
Can we actually get back on topic?
Yeah, this is. I had no.
Yo, one in the chat if Hunter's the perfect example.
I had no idea that
ZHERKA
was such a big fan or former fan. I'm sorry that I let you down, my friend.
Yeah, no, I used to love you when you hated the trans. I'm kidding.
A better question that I would love to ask ZHERKA is specifically, does he believe that there are any forms of expectations regarding masculinity that could result in harm to the man? Does he think that's a thing?
No, I don't think masculinity can ever be harmful to the male. Ever. Even if your wife gets slapped on the subway by some, let's say a white guy, right? Diversity is our greatest strength, right? Someone slaps your wife and you go and fight these guys and they beat the shit out of you. 4 guys beat. That level of masculinity you displayed still was not harmful to you. It still was healthier to get your ass whooped and move and act than to be like, according to my calculations, I lost this fight.
ZHERKA, what if you just?
That's not what I.
Suicide rates among men.
That has nothing to. That was not
talking about.
Yeah, no. Also,
the era of men being great, the suicide rates are the highest. How about that?
This is why I feel like people think ZHERKA's a troll, though, is because it's like
he is a troll. He's a self-admitted one, actually.
I'm not a troll. Here,
yes, you are. You admitted it.
Okay, lady,
many times.
Lady and Hunter, I genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I swear to God, you both know you guys adopt retard positions. You know your liberal thinking is retarded.
That's so emotional today, my friend. I'm so sorry, dude.
I thought we were actually going to have a debate. I didn't realize this was just going to be.
I thought that ZHERKA's skyrocketing testosterone would surely amount to a
fine masculinity. I just don't know what masculinity is.
All right, can I
have to do this? What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute you guys, and then we will restart. We haven't heard from Alex. If you've got a point you'd like to make, I'm happy to have you. Otherwise, we haven't heard from Ashley for a while.
Yeah. It's actually a question for Ashley. Ashley, what percentage of men that you've met up with in the last, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years would you say we're not masculine enough to turn you on? Just give me your, like, honest answer.
She hasn't had a man in years.
No, I've had a few guys.
I've got to give. Go ahead, Ashley.
Okay. What percentage, I guess? I know you love your percentages, Alex. I don't know exactly how to give a percentage, but I don't know exactly what you mean. Met up with, like, from online dating.
And you thought, yes, men that you met up with from online dating that you thought were too feminine. They didn't turn you on. They weren't dominant enough.
Probably half and half, 50-50.
Okay, that's a pretty good amount, right? 1 out of 2 guys is too feminine to turn you on.
Yeah, I guess. See, I see what you're doing, but you'd have to, like, define feminine. I don't know that I would say it was feminine or that he had characteristics or traits I didn't like. Yeah.
Well, it seems like your initial response was 50% when I said feminine, right? Or when I said not masculine.
Well, that's because you and I know each other really well, and I know what you mean by feminine versus masculine, arguably. But I'm just saying, like, for the sake of the debate.
Here, can we define the terms? How about this, okay? And
I did in my opening statement.
Well, you're wrong. You have CNN.
No, it was from the fucking internet. From
your
several
CNN definitions are wrong.
No, it's Webster's.
I'm kind of just sad that we're already derailing because me and ZHERKA were actually in an interesting.
Wait, Hunter, I have a quick question for you. What percentage of men do you think are too feminine to turn a woman on? If you had to take a guess, Ashley thinks
80%. 80%
I don't know. This sounds like a question ZHERKA would have a better answer for you for.
Well, ZHERKA, I know what
how many men are sexually active, Hunter?
ZHERKA, how many men would you willingly swallow a load of their testosterone for?
I don't want my career to go like yours, so I'm not joining the gay side.
Are they particularly masculine or feminine men?
Your career.
But
I mean,
it sounds like ZHERKA said you don't think
Hunter,
any masculinity.
While you're being cute, why don't you admit living with your wife made you a Democrat?
Well, do you want me to admit that for you?
Just admit it. That's the only missing variable. Admit how you fucked up.
You have like a strange fetish to hear me say that, or do you want to lie?
He's got to go out
of the country to get a wife. Hold on, hate to do this, but just because we have too many. All right.
Are you his wife?
So
he's going to get a mail.
I enjoy muting all of you sometimes, but what I'm going to do is, just to be sure we have some order, let's go to either Hunter or Alex, just because. Let's just cool it down. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. Alex or Hunter, do you have a preference? Oh, that's right. So I just clicked unmute, so you have to.
Yeah, I'm good now. Yeah, actually, this is another thing I wrote down while Hunter was giving his opening statement. So I think you're making a bit straw man argument of what it means not to be wimpy. And the way you define it is like, well, it's not a good thing that men are now feel like they have to hide their emotions. But at least not me. That's not what I think it means to be masculine, right? I think it's more about having courage. It's being not afraid to go for what you want. In a date setting, that would mean not being afraid to kiss the girl or not being afraid to lead, which is something that women desperately, desperatally say that they want more. They want guys who are confident, more assertive.
You're right. They want guys not even who are just.
I'm so sorry. I genuinely didn't hear that.
I've got to disagree with my own teammate.
Just to build on what Alex said there is, you're right, actually, that women do want a degree of confidence or whatever, and they also want a degree of emotional connection that a lot of guys lack.
Women want a 2016 Hunter Avallone.
They're oftentimes unable to. Did I break your heart, ZHERKA? Are you okay, my friend?
You're a traitor, fuck. That's what you are.
A lot of the times, like we talk a lot about how.
Hey, Judas, get to your
Hold on, we have to hear from. Let's go.
We talk a lot about how women will initiate more divorce, which is true. But a lot of the reason for that is specifically because men are not able to meet their emotional needs, which I don't blame men for that because they are socialized to suppress their emotions. So I almost feel like we could come to middle ground here, Alex. If you're saying low testosterone rates can contribute to a lack of confidence, well then, yeah, maybe we need to start talking about healthier diets, exercising more, et cetera, because
I do that all the time on my channel.
Well, hold on, because you need to still have enough confidence to be willing to be vulnerable at times with your partner if you really wish to see that relationship succeed.
So if anything, we could agree. You're talking about more about like long-term relationship success, which is fine, but initially to even get your foot in the door, right? Emotional vulnerability typically doesn't start until a little bit later until you guys start.
Wait. Can we let's just define the scenario. hold on. Let's just define the scenario. Hunter, would it be okay if I go to my fiance and let's say I lost my job? Can I be emotionally vulnerable and start crying? Honey, I got fired from work. Is that okay? Can I cry in front of her right there? Is that cool?
She's at your house. You come home and you start breaking down saying, I lost my job and I'm really concerned.
Yeah. Do you recommend I do that?
I don't know if that's the kind of dynamic. I mean, if a guy wanted to do that, if that were the type of relationship dynamic, there's nothing wrong with that.
You think that's going to increase her arousal?
Do you think that every time you talk to a partner, your goal is to increase their arousal every single time?
I mean, you definitely don't want to decrease it. You're either winning her or losing her.
When you call your girlfriend, are you like, oh no, I can't ask for extra toilet paper?
So wait,
that's
Hunter,
totally going to turn her off.
When your career completely fell off, did you cry to your wife?
I'm about to go cry to my wife after this conversation because you are breaking me, my friend.
Do you recommend young men do that? Honey, I lost 100 million followers because I'm afraid to get banned.
I think that the notion that a man shouldn't cry and should never be emotionally vulnerable is incredibly detrimental for men's overall well-being. It is a
I'm saying for a job.
Hold on, wait, ZHERKA, shut
I'm
the
saying
fuck
for
up.
a job.
It has been clinically demonstrated.
You lost a job.
Be quiet.
You lost a job.
It has been
Can you cry?
clinically demonstrated that both men and women both experience about the same degrees of emotions, as in biological brain chemistry responses. Only men, for some reason, arbitrarily, are expected to suppress that and never let those emotions out in a healthy way. And this is a medical fact that suppressing emotion as a coping mechanism contributes to more suicidality, higher risk of depression, higher risk of emotional instability. You're more likely to be sporadic, which is a big reason why men commit more suicide.
I'm not disagreeing with any of that, Hunter, but I think you're also...
Oh, I know that you're not disagreeing. I was talking to ZHERKA here in this case.
Men and women also experience a different type of emotions, right? Like men typically experience more like anger, and that is considered much more appropriate for a man to express than, say, sadness, right? For women,
but anger's a secondary...
Anger, she gets called a Karen, right? So
yes, you're right, but that's...
different types of emotions.
Yes, but a lot of that is a good example of the social, like, almost a problem with some of these social expectations. You're right. When a woman gets mad, she's being bitchy. When a guy gets mad, he's being passionate and tough. You're right. These are negative expectations. But what was the first thing that you just said here? Because I think that I forgot what you had said there a minute ago. You said that you don't disagree with me that men...
I don't necessarily disagree with the argument you made about like massively like suppressing your emotions could lead to detrimental effects to men's health. But I feel like that's completely irrelevant, or in some ways largely irrelevant to the topic at hand, because we can all agree that initially, in order to get your foot in the door, you have to be confident, you have to be assertive, right? And you can be as emotionally vulnerable as you want. You can be super in touch with your emotions. But if you don't have that confidence, you don't have that assertiveness, you're not going to even be able to get to a point where the girl wants you to be emotionally vulnerable with her. And it's if a lot of men nowadays are less confident, less assertive, they're not even able to get to that point because they can't get in their foot in the door, which kind of is explained by the fact that there's way more incels right nowadays. Like, why could that be? I mean, we can talk about technology and whatnot, but I think part of the reason is that men are less confident. Therefore, when you're not confident.
Why are men less confident? That's the point I'm trying to make this whole time.
Well, I think Alex is getting at that because testosterone's lower, we're seeing less confidence.
I don't think that's the only reason. I don't even know if that's the main reason. I think it's one of the reasons.
Well, I think that it is one of the reasons for sure. And I think that another one of the reasons, though, is also economic, that like men right now don't have the same degree of opportunity that they had prior, especially because of the physical labor jobs becoming far less pertinent. That is definitely contributing to some negative effects for men as well. But when you talk about how men feel anger more, whatnot, this is something that I'm not trying to pull the actually meme here, but actually, anger is a secondary emotion. So it's a real emotion, but it only stems from a more fundamental foundational emotion. So if a man is expressing anger and aggression consistently, it's oftentimes because there is an underlying more foundational emotion. Well, I don't know if insecurity would be technically...
I think it's insecurity in a sense of inadequacy.
All right, so can we all agree that men on average are less confident and assertive than in the past?
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree a little bit on that.
I can agree enough, but I don't think that's entirely always a bad thing, because sometimes what it meant to be assertive was you go slap your wife in the face.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about like being abusive. That's not what I'm talking about.
1950s macho men, that would be kind of like in that category.
Okay, that's not what I think.
I think yes, but I think here again, I just want to say, like, I really do think it's because of evolution. Evolution is a thing. We all know it's a thing. It's scientific. I think that our society is evolving to be more equal between men and women, being able to have the same rights.
Are you saying it's biological evolution?
It is a type of biological evolution and societal evolution. Both.
It can't be biological because biological evolution.
Well, you just said like testosterone levels. Our levels,
but that's not because that's not because of our DNA, right? It's not because our DNA has evolved to have.
Well, it's still a biological response. It's something.
It's a biological response. It's not evolution, though.
No, when she speaks, I feel like
said two different things there.
Yeah, it could be. You can make an argument that
said two different things.
Right, it's social evolution. It just can't be biological evolution.
I could make an argument that Ashley evolved backwards.
I can give an argument that Ashley's barely said 2 words, and every time she does, everybody says, the woman's interrupting. But, toxic masculinity.
To be fair, Ashley, you interrupted me before the debate even started when we were first chatting over Zoom. So that is why I was a little bit extra annoyed right away. So it is true that
actually didn't notice
to those
it from you at all.
Hold on,
my bad.
You're still interrupting me now. It is true that I did during the debate. You could say jump on you early, and that was the time when I deferred to Alex or Hunter to speak. It wasn't because you're a woman. It's because you interrupted me before we even, I think it was before we even started live streaming, and I was just amazed at how you just didn't even seem to be aware of it.
I wasn't aware of it, and I am having trouble hearing, so I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to. I was actually referring to the chat when every time I said
it could be a zodiac alignment. It could be, that time of the...
All right, Zerko, we have to keep it within terms of service.
Right.
You
so I just wanted. I want to go back
of the month. It's getting close to me.
No, I was talking about. I wasn't talking about. I was not talking about periods. I was talking about zodiac alignments. I said zodiac alignment. Okay. I've read over 100 Freemasonic literature books, and really, nobody really understands that masculine and feminine, these are temperaments. To be masculine is to be active, like the solar, like the sun. To be feminine is to be lunar. It's to be passive.
Maybe that should be, maybe when you say that's that time of year or whatever, or that time of the month, meaning the planetary alignment thing, maybe that should be against TOS just for being so incredibly stupid. Sounding like the My Little Pony next episode. Perhaps should be against TOS just for the sake of misinformation.
Is it sexist if I tell this girl, Hunter, to go to the kitchen?
I don't know.
You identify as a boy, right? All right. So here's what I'm trying to say, okay? Please, no interruptions. Hunter, you agree men have become, they've gotten softer, like yourself, right?
Physically, men are not nearly as physically strong as they used to be, but I think men are also becoming a little bit more emotionally, at least stronger in the sense of recognizing.
Can these furries hang with your grandpa? Can these furries hang with your grandpa? If your grandpa's playing cards, can these furries play Can they hang with your grandpa, or would your grandpa traumatize them when he starts, maybe saying?
Do you regularly think about hanging out with a bunch of furries? Are you sucking their testosterone also, dude? Come on, my friend.
I hope.
Why don't you just make an argument now, okay?
I hope all 4 of your audience members are hysterically laughing. But do you think our grandparents can chill with the Zoomers of today? Can they even be in the same room, or would they look at them and say, "What the fuck happened to these pussies"?
I don't.
Are your grandparents
hold on.
disappointed?
Why the hell would I care about if my grandparents didn't approve of that? There's people.
I'm making the point that they got softer over time.
There's people's grandparents that wouldn't approve that right now their granddaughter or great granddaughter is engaged to a black guy.
Right.
I don't care.
About,
just
saying,
but just if they think it's weird or crazy, or the furries look crazy, or these darn kids nowadays.
No, but we agree their testosterone is lower. We agree their testosterone is lower, right?
Lower testosterone, sure, but that doesn't translate to being a furry necessarily.
Okay, maybe I'm using extreme, but try and get there faster. Just explore the hypothetical, you fucking retard. Okay, here's the point I'm trying to make. If we all agree men have gotten softer, I guess our only disagreement would be you guys don't think it's a government thing, right? Oh, it's a conspiracy from the government. You don't believe that, right?
Well, I don't believe that, and I also don't believe that just men blanket have
been. Wait, so you believe governments want macho men? They want them?
Why would the government not particularly want macho men who can work labor jobs?
I mean, think
it's true that they're not as pertinent, but they're still relevant for the economy.
Is there anything more masculine than the revolutionary spirit? Why would government want a masculine revolutionary society that could just pitchfork them out of the fucking office? Of course they want
revolutionary spirit.
They want weak consumers like Hunter Avallone. Like you just stay online all day playing your little StarCraft.
You realize there's a lot of like socialist girls even who are all like revolutionary minded as far as thinking we need to overthrow capitalistic systems and whatnot.
Yeah, but they're women, so they'll never get it done.
No, but this revolutionary spirit sounds like a random arbitrary thing you are just deciding to define as masculinity. Even though having a mindset in which you are supportive of a revolution is a commonality amongst political groups, whether they're women or men. So I don't understand even what that has to do with anything.
Let's kick it over to Ashley. We haven't heard from Ashley for a while, and I do want to be fair.
What ideological
hold on, okay, really ZHERKA, shut up for a second.
You're not making any sense.
Well, let's kick it over to Ashley or Alex if you have any thoughts. We haven't heard from you for a while.
Alex, go ahead.
Okay, so it's actually a question. It goes to both you, Hunter, and you, Ashley. What is your definition of wimpy? Because I don't know if we're operating in the same definition, so I want to hear what you guys think it is.
Go ahead, Hunter.
Yeah, I gave it at the beginning: weak, ineffectual, and cowardly. Which is why I said that if we're talking about weakness in as far as physical weakness, then yes, men are definitely weaker. If we're talking about like emotionally weaker. I think in some ways maybe not. But again, the expectation that men should be cowardly and suppress their emotions and hide from the way they're feeling is absolutely wimpy. So yeah, there's definitely still some wimpy expectations.
Okay, Ashley, do you agree with Hunter's definition? Or do you have your own?
Sure, I agree.
Okay, your definition is pretty close to the one I have. It's basically not strong, brave, or confident, right? Which is basically the same thing that you said. So we have agreed. Taking the being afraid to be emotional vulnerable thing aside, which is only a part of courage, we have agreed that men today are less confident than they used to be. Ashley, according to her own admission, finds 50% of the men not to be masculine enough for her taste. So therefore, is it really a stretch to then just say men on average are more wimpy? Not all men, but if we're doing averages, and if you agree that men are being less confident than they were, then therefore men are being more wimpy, according to your own definition.
What fucking metric are we using to measure how men are being wimpy and how they're not being wimpy? That's the thing. Like, we don't, other than the testosterone levels, which can we please, for the love of fucking God, move away from?
Well, the thing is, I think this could, sorry to cut you off, but I feel like this could lead to a really.
Cut me off.
I feel like
but to be fair to Ashley, what have you got, Ashley?
No, it's all good.
I've been hard on you, Ashley. I do want to apologize. I want to say...
No, I mean, Alex interrupted you as well, James. Like, hardcore in the beginning, and you didn't say shit. So that was kind of fucking out of left field, and I did take offense to it, and that was pretty shitty. You're a moderator. You're not in the debate. I'm just saying, it did piss me off. I'm over here cooling down and collecting myself. I'm not fucking crying, but I am.
You got it. I appreciate you letting me know that. I don't remember when Alex interrupted me, but I will say Alex can attest, no joke. There was a one time when Kevin Wilder, and I felt really bad about it. It was after a stream ended. I think his name is Kevin Wilder.
Yeah, I remember that day.
And I had a temper outburst on Kevin, which I said, I was like, okay, I jumped the gun on that. So maybe it's timing, because that's, I think, what it was for Kevin.
I gave James too much of my testosterone, so we're going to.
But sometimes so basically, I hadn't noticed Alex had done it. Otherwise, frankly, like I've reproved Kevin Wilder, who's a guy, and so Alex, being a guy, like I don't want to discriminate based on sex. It's just that, like I said, there was one time. Let's just get back into the debate.
I do want to say that, like, it is. I don't need sympathy points, and I don't need anybody to sit over here suck my dick. But I'm just saying, like, I'm one female versus a 4 male panel, apparently now. So,
wait,
I'm not really disagreeing with you entirely.
I don't think that you're like without a partner. I think it might be that Hunter disagrees on like a subtlety, but I think generally you guys agree. And ZHERKA and Alex, I think
We definitely, me and ZHERKA definitely disagree quite a good amount.
It's
so,
kind of more like a, to be honest, it's
me
kind
and
of
Alex
like a
agree on a decent amount too. Because what I was gonna do when I cut off, when I interrupted a second ago.
I'm sorry. What I meant was that I'm the only female here. That's all I meant. I'm doing the same things that the males are doing, but I was the only one called out, so it's fine.
Yeah, to be fair, though, like I said, I was pissed and I should have said it before the stream started, that I was annoyed when you interrupted me prior to the stream starting. So when I noticed it during the stream, that was where I was like, okay, my gasket's blowing. But
my apologies. Honestly, James, to that, my apologies. You know I'm always super respectful to you. At least I try to be. And
I just really hope you know, like I said, is purely just because of the pre-stream where I was like triggered. But so I get where you're coming from.
And then I got triggered. My apologies.
And that's why even just one last thing, and I'll let you guys. Sorry, Hunter and Alex, and
I'm sorry too.
I'm not really sorry to ZHERKA. That's why I made it clear to everybody where I was like, okay, that probably did look like I was kind of coming down on you because you're a woman. But like I said, it really was just because of the context thing that I explained in terms of before the stream. So, because I agree that it looks like that, and it probably looked like that to other people, and that's why I like brought it up myself. So, I don't blame you for interpreting it that way. Okay.
I appreciate you, James, and I do apologize I interrupted you. I really didn't honestly even notice.
I know you didn't even notice it. So, and that's the thing. Sometimes a person's like planning to say another sentence right after what they just said, but the person interprets. So, go ahead, Hunter or Alex, or was it Ashley? Were you finishing a point? I can't even remember who was talking.
No, I'm good now. I'm totally derailed. I'm going to take a minute.
No problem.
I interrupted because I wanted to. Because I was about to have some middle ground here with Alex, which I was simply going to say.
May I join, guys? Can you hear me? May I join the therapy session with Ashley?
Okay, as long as you're not going to just make fun of somebody, I want to hear what Hunter's point was.
No, but we almost had tears there, James.
I promise I'm not nearly as close to tears as you think. Go ahead, Hunter.
It's just, even if we were to go ahead and be like, okay, fine, then maybe we can kind of come to some agreement here that, yeah, men today are a little bit wimpier. Maybe they do have lower testosterone, and that's contributing to that. Then that's like just the very beginning of the conversation, right? Because the next step is, okay, if we're going to say that men are wimpier nowadays, why? Why is this? You talk about men being less confident. I would not be surprised if a man is having very little luck with girls, is gravitating towards incel beliefs, if he doesn't have a job and still lives with his parents while he's in his early 20s. That's a shitty place. Well, hold on, wait. That's a shitty place to be in. And now guys are having a harder and harder time achieving mobility in the economy. I mean, we see women graduating faster, etc.
Because ZHERKA, you are fronting.
I thought I have the incel beliefs. Why do women love me? Why do women love me? I have these incel beliefs.
Because they're too afraid to tell you the truth, probably.
What do you got, Ashley?
Again, that's a conversation for another time, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the reason, the question ZHERKA is asking, the reason that he thinks or whatever that women are so obsessed with him is, I mean, I've heard him speak about it because I listen to people that I'm about to debate before I actually go on and debate them, ZHERKA.
You're doing great.
Yeah, thanks so much. You're not so much.
Hang in there.
Not. Yeah, it's pretty cringe.
Right.
But I think it's because he actually admits himself that he used to be this nerdy gamer, dorky type that never got chicks, you know. But then what he did is he started watching like guys like Andrew Tate and other guys that like say these like really toxic masculine things, right? Where he tells the woman like, shut up, bitch. And like, you know, I'm jealous the second I meet you, I'm jealous. And like just all this weird possessive stuff. And he kind of goes on to say that like that is his way using toxic masculinity as a weapon to essentially get girls into bed. Now, self-admittedly, he doesn't have any like serious like LTRs, and he's not looking for marriage right now. And he also says that when he is looking for marriage, it's going to be traditional, and it's basically going to be his family is going to pick his bride for him because of his ethnic background, and that's their traditions. So I would just say that like that it sounds a lot to me like he's setting himself up for failure in that genre. And he also admits to, I mean, very self-admittedly, he says things specifically just to be polarizing, just to, you know, trigger responses and become viral. So earlier, Hunter, when you said, is this guy just a troll? Yes. essentially he is just a troll. The fact that he's trying to seriously debate this is incredibly humorous to me. And I'm done.
Ashley, question, are you married?
I was married for 12 years.
And what happened?
Let's keep it on the actual topic at hand. Even though I'd love to hear about everybody's romantic
she
lives.
said that I'm clearly going to fail with my long term. I want to know how she failed so I avoid the failure.
Well, it depends on your definition of failure, I guess. Would failure be that you actually did something organically for 10 to 12 years and then it didn't work out? Or would failure be that you...
Yeah, that would be the definition.
Hold on, just
wasting
to hear her
12 years
actually
is the
finish ZHERKA.
Or that you are actually like going through, basically an arranged marriage set up by your family, which I don't know a whole lot about, but I do. I did work with several people that were in arranged marriages. It seems typically the man still gets to kind of do what he wants to do, and the woman is like staying at home.
Why did you lie? You said ZHERKA's never had long terms. Yes, I have.
I said, as far as I could see from your content, you haven't had some serious long-term relationships.
Right.
I guess that you would have to.
All right, give me some advice. I want some advice. Should I be less masculine?
I don't know. It just depends on what you're looking for. What are you trying to do? Are you just trying to kind of snow women over at the bar, look around at the bar, just be any guy that you want to be? So manipulate.
I just want to manipulate.
And yell at them and say,
I want to manipulate
right before they come, tell them that they're a stupid bitch. Or are you actually looking for some kind of girlfriend? Or you even said yourself you're not good at sex. So I don't know. I kind of don't take guys seriously. That it's like Myron Gaines who says the female orgasm isn't important. Like guys that say they're not good at sex. Yeah. I mean, I know you admit or you claim you made a woman come by yelling at her across a room.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, that happened. That happened.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did.
That's only happened to me a couple times. That's only happened to me a few times. I didn't know that was a common occurrence.
Hunter, ask your wife. I once yelled at her, right? So now check this out. Ashley, what can I do to be better at sex? I want some advice since we're going in on my personal life.
Well,
okay,
I mean,
we really don't have to do this. We could go back to. I hate to interrupt you, Ashley.
Oh, James, let her drown. James, they tried to drown me. Let her drown. Let her drown. I want to hear her advice. After her 12-year failure marriage, I want to know what's the good sex.
I don't know how.
Well, the sex was always really wonderful during that marriage. Yeah, but
even when he grabbed the ring and threw it in the ocean, was it good then?
I feel like
you never saw masculinity from rising.
Well, ZHERKA, I feel like if you're really horny and want some erotic stories being told to you, you can just look it up online.
I feel like your wife is literally attracted to me. Your wife is literally attracted to me, like literally.
Okay, everyone's attracted to you, ZHERKA, but we do have to move on.
Not everyone, James. You've got a Subway tattoo. You're definitely above me. You're right. You're above my pay grade.
I appreciate that. That's very kind. Alex, what have you got? You look like you're in deep thought.
No, I was just waiting for this little shit show to resolve. Okay, I'll move on to I guess answering Hunter's question.
So, oh my God, she cheated on him.
What?
Okay, let's give Alex a chance to make his case, his argument.
When did you say that?
No, I actually never did, Alex. I didn't.
Oh, someone said it in chat, so I thought it was true.
Oh, well, definitely. Then you should believe it.
Anyway,
someone said that ZHERKA's ex said he only lasted 2 minutes in bed in my chat.
Well, he admits he's bad in bed. I mean,
I told you
not
guys,
on topic. Go ahead, Alex.
I'm telling you, Hunter's wife and my ex, they got so much in common. They're both disappointed in me.
All right, let's go to Alex.
All right,
that was a good one, ZHERKA. Nice, man, nice. Go ahead, Alex.
Anyway, so it seems like, Hunter, you agreed to the premise that men are a little bit more wimpy, and I appreciate you acknowledging this. Your question was why, and I want to answer this, so I wrote down some notes while you guys were talking. So I think it's a very multifaceted thing. I don't think it's just limited to testosterone. I don't think there's one answer for it. I think it's multiple things. Here are some of the things that I think contribute to that. One of the things I hear from men that I coach is that they're really worried about being put on a girl's TikTok or Instagram. They're worried about saying something and then they're going to be called out. This is a common fear I hear over and over again. A lot of men are socializing less. They're spending more time in front of their computer instead of actually talking to people. And I think that's making everyone recluses. And they're following weird rabbit hole ideologies that didn't have the potential to exist 20 years ago before the internet was what it was, right? Even 10 years ago. You can, reference the Social Dilemma for documentary for that. And there are literally people who believe that approaching a girl on the street will get you locked up. There's actually people who say that over and over again. They believe it. They're like, hey, I'm worried that if I go up to a girl and I say, hey, I think you're cute, I will go to jail, which obviously is pure nonsense. So I think those are some of the reasons why men are acting more wimpy today.
Sure. I mean, the thing is
really
you can even
I'm sorry.
ask James. Like, I messaged him ahead of time. I was like, I mean, I kind of think that like we're on the right track as far as like telling men not to be cowardly when it comes to their feelings. But like, yeah, generally speaking, I think men kind of are still, you know, struggling. And if we want to say that it's wimpy, then that's fine.
Really, we're on the right track. Isn't 80% of men not even sexually active? Aren't 80% of men trying to fucking kill themselves? They live in despair.
What I was going to say here is that actually, well, first of all,
can't even get a woman like Ashley.
ZHERKA, you cannot talk about men killing themselves when you have just denied the existence of toxic masculinity, my friend. You're denying the cause of the problem.
I denied.
Wait, you said that toxic masculinity isn't real. Toxic masculinity is
no. I said it's real, and we need more. I said we need more of it.
Okay, so it's contributing to the suicidality.
Hunter,
no, it's not.
That we need to go back
all
to
male suicide comes from. Ashley, just a sec. Let the king speak. All male suicide comes from dating women like Ashley. Like, everyone knows there's a dead end where it's like, hey, man, we're not gonna make it. Marriage is not actually biblical anymore. It's just a piece of paper. We're not going to the gates of heaven together. We're not going all together. And this despair fills their stomach. And that's when they start cheating and becoming like you guys, where like Hunter, I heard
this is why you don't add anything to the conversation, because I'm actually trying to take you somewhere like a logical follow through.
Okay, don't.
And you're just derailing into some long trolling.
Don't take me to the room where your wife pegs you. Put the sword away. Go ahead, Hunter. I'll allow you to speak now. Boop.
I don't even remember. Oh, yeah, that's right. You were saying that you don't think that toxic masculinity is legitimate, even as far as the expectations that could be harmful to men. So I guess I'll just go back to what I said before, which is that it's a clinical fact that suppressing emotion is detrimental to your own well-being. Men are disproportionately expected to suppress their emotions. Men also are disproportionately committing suicide. We know from surveys that thousands of men all over the West, whether we're talking about Canada, the US, Australia, the UK, have admitted to suppressing emotions for the sheer sake of looking more manly. And I'm telling you right now, you don't get to have your cake and eat it too. You don't get to say, hey, I'm going to contribute to the disease, but I'm also going to whine about how bad we need.
But it's not the disease.
You're spreading the disease.
It's not the disease, and you have to change. You have to change it. The disease comes from the fact that men are surrounded by hoes. They know they're not getting married. They know they're growing old and alone. Whether they have $1 million or $100 million, their wife is not a virgin. She got.
What I was going to say also is that there are more men now who are still living at home right now. Those are the men having the least amount of sex, which again goes back to what I was just saying. I'm not surprised.
If they were more masculine,
if your confidence is lower. If your confidence is lower, yeah, how are you going to go out and get a job? How are you going to have sex with a girl when you're living at home with your parents?
Okay, first of all, testosterone is the number one correlating factor to success. So saying like, well, maybe it's not.
It's the most bullshit thing.
Yeah,
I've
that's
ever
not a
heard
true
in my
statistic.
life.
What? Look at the
so
difference from men and women.
Provide a statistic.
Wait,
Ashley,
just
help me
if
out.
there's a
Worst
difference doesn't mean you
Ashley,
get to just
Ashley, help
claim
me
it's
out.
all
You're
testosterone.
horrible. Honestly, you're
Ashley,
horrible.
help me out. Just
That
destroy
thing-
me.
You don't know your stats. You are fucking misogynistic. You just say things specifically to trigger because.
Send me your tears so I can drink them on stream, okay?
Wait, hold on, ZHERKA. I thought we were just. Wait, no. Because stop. Because you're whining about.
No, Hunter's wife. Get out of there.
You're whining from Hunter.
Hunter, your wife's here. You're double teaming me, bro.
Have we not heard this whole time about how testosterone levels are going down? Testosterone levels are going down. Why are we seeing more and more men who are more and more successful? We didn't have billionaires back then. We have people that are making more and more money nowadays. Nowadays.
So making 100 million with crypto and some fucking NFT, but being an incel loser who's got no fucking woman, no family, that's successful?
No, but I'm saying that we're also.
Well, that's who you're talking about. You're talking about.
No,
those
I'm not.
nerds.
I'm talking about.
You're
people
talking about
like
those nerds. Yeah,
Musk, Bezos. We have people who are younger. I would have to look up the youngest millionaire.
Can we hear from Alex more? This guy's
there's a lot of successful men right now.
Like I think I can actually. I think I can bridge the gap. Honestly.
Thank you,
ZHERKA. The first time we had a discussion, I think you told me, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're not a fan of the stigma that exists for men to get mental health help. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, my twin brother is a therapist, and he told me there are actual liberal therapists who you pay them a bunch of money and they give you a liberal advice. They say, sometimes you just got to pat yourself on the back. And so he has a master's degree, and he said it's very scary when choosing a therapist. If you go to someone who's completely blue pill and stuff like that, you're getting scammed to oblivion.
Okay, so but assuming you don't go to somebody like ZHERKA, assuming you don't go to someone who's blue pill, assuming you go to a therapist like your brother or someone who's competent in what they're doing, then you would not be a fan of the stigma that would exist for men to go see someone like that if they're struggling, right?
I let's just go back to the example of, do you tell your wife you lost your job and cry like a bitch in front of her? Wait, I don't think it works. I think she'll be drier than the Sahara. If you lose your job, you better damn well tell your wife that. And if you are going to choose to, you can tell her Hunter. You're giving young men the advice of, yeah, you can cry in front of her because you lost a job. Like no. My advice is that, hey, no, you already doubled down on that. If you're in a marriage, okay, you should be able to be vulnerable with your partner. Yeah. If you lose your job and you get emotional talking about it, your partner of all people, shut the fuck up. Then explain the divorce.
Hunter is right. We have to give him a chance. I appreciate your energy and your passion, ZHERKA, but we do have to give Hunter a chance to finish the point.
Okay, you appreciate his energy and passion.
Your partner of all people should be the one who you can confide in and can be vulnerable with. Again, it's not. It's not about crying all the time. It's not about breaking down about every single thing. It's about having emotional intelligence, okay? That's all. It's just recognizing the situation and acting appropriately. If you're home alone, it's a late night, and you're feeling emotional and you lost your job, well, the time might be appropriate to be vulnerable. And if you feel that you can't be vulnerable with your partner, then you're in a fucking loser marriage, dude. You're in a toxic relationship. You're probably getting cucked also.
But we can bridge the gap. Can we agree that maybe there's that most things about masculinity are good, but maybe there's like at least one thing that's like probably not the best. Like I think that ZHERKA, you do agree that the stigma against therapy isn't a good thing, assuming this therapist is competent. So I think the point that Hunter's making is that, hey, listen, if there's a stigma, then that would technically be part of toxic masculinity, right? Even though that's guys, but there's still the point is that that's like one thing that's a traditional.
No, he's still running from it. He's still running from it. Where Alex. The idea, like when you look at the divorce rate and how high it is, the idea that everyone is this blue pill Zoomer, Hunter, Avallone kind of has like this like trans identity going on or whatever he's got going on. Everyone's like this, and everyone has problems with their wife or their fiance or their girlfriend. Everyone is breaking up, and they're all doing the same thing. They're all going, honey, I lost my job, and crying. But then you have these toxic types like me. And when's the last time anyone left in, like, when's the last time I got dumped? Because check this out.
First and foremost, you're not getting dumped because some woman is terrified of being thrown across the room by you and does not actually speak any.
Let's hear the last little bit from ZHERKA, and then we'll go to you, Hunter, I promise.
I was just going to acknowledge, like, ZHERKA, there's an element of truth to what you're saying. Like, there was a study that came out that showed that men who have traditional gender roles are having more sex than men who are not, right? So what you're saying is generally backed up by science and some
no, it just depends fully on what study you're talking about. Was this one on benevolent sexism?
I don't remember. It's an older one though. It was from France too. It was a European study, but they looked at like tens of thousands of couples. But
France is gay.
The point is, sure, I agree with you on that point. But then, like, going back to the therapy thing, like on that one, you do have to like kind of agree that that's like unfortunate.
Yeah. Talking to your therapist about losing your job is way, way more beneficial than drying up your wife till she cheats on you with a BBC. Do you know how big a black guy's cock can be?
Okay, so second time of you saying something gay now. That's very cute. Can we go back to what a second ago? So you're talking a lot about how marriages aren't working out and whatnot. But again, you're saying there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. Or if there is, that there's not enough of it. You realize that a big reason why divorce happens and why women initiate it is because their emotional needs are not being met. Men
really? Like Stephen Crowder's wife?
Because men lack emotional intelligence, because they don't even know how to navigate their own emotions, because their whole life they've been told by dumb fucks like you that shedding a single tear at their mom's funeral means their crush won't ever
I didn't
like
say
them back.
funeral. I said
so
job.
a lot of the
change it. You look how you change it. I didn't say
a lot
funeral.
of the times
I didn't say funeral,
dude. Hey, I'm being hyperbolic. Okay, can you take?
Okay,
but get out of the kitchen, troll.
No, that's evil. You know,
get out of the kitchen, troll.
If someone dies, they can cry, but like maybe don't like go overboard where you get pegged like Hunter and his wife. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is again,
Hunter?
hold on. All I'm saying is again, you are contributing to the problem and then complaining about the problem. You can't do both. Pick one.
No, you're talking to Alex and me. That's why you think it's contradictory, you fucking idiot.
Yeah,
I'm saying there's not enough of it. My position isn't with Alex. Like, I don't believe what Alex believes. Right?
Sorry, maybe I misunderstood, but I thought. Go ahead. Then maybe I wasn't clear there.
I think you do agree with me about the therapy thing, though. I think we are in agreement on that.
Well, no, what I was getting at with I think we're all in agreement with that. What I was getting at with ZHERKA though was just simply that if you're talking about like men killing themselves or men getting divorced and stuff like this, talking about
actually,
how
let's go back to that. You said
talking about how men need to have more stoicism and more of these toxic expectations need to be enforced.
They don't need stoicism. They need pettiness. They need to be more jealous. They need to be more like me, less like you, right? I bet that sword goes soft when you hold it. You just look weak. But let me finish. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt. Hold on. Yes, more pettiness, right? Like a real man. So now stoicism, that's just fucking gay, bro. Now listen, my problem is you think that the male suicide rate has something to do with men suppressing their emotions because you read one fucking dumb liberal think tank study like a fucking retard. No,
I like how you just accepted the study that agreed with you a second ago.
One in the chat if you agree, all male suicide is the fault of women. Women have failed. Men feel despair. They're like, oh, I'm not having a family, and if I am, we're having a divorce, and the statistics are against me, and she's going to take half my wealth, and blah, blah, blah. It's all from despair. The fact that you think suppressing your emotions is why they're fucking killing themselves is just fucking
No, it's
stupid.
A lack of expressing emotion. If you don't know how to
even
express,
worse. That's even worse.
If you don't know how to express your emotions and you don't know how to deal with what you're feeling, then it makes it way more likely that if you're partaking in that kind of a coping mechanism, that you're going to commit suicide. Yeah.
I want to hear from Ashley. We haven't heard from Ashley for a while. I'll go right back to you, Alex, but just because we haven't heard from Ashley for a while, go ahead, Ashley.
No. I just wanted you to unmute me. I'm listening.
What the fuck, Ashley? Just speak. We're back on you.
Go ahead, Alex. What have you
got? He needs a pep talk, James.
I probably have like a middle position on this between Hunter and ZHERKA, but I mean, I do think that yes, like there are for sure cases where men suppress their emotions and that leads to their downfall. I can totally imagine that, and I think I've heard even anecdotal stories.
Yeah, what percentage, Alex, of Hunter's cases?
Well, that's kind of what I'm saying right more with you. I don't think that's the biggest reason for why men commit suicide, right? I think probably the biggest reason why men will commit suicide is
despair.
It's despair. I will agree with you.
Yes.
And how men and women choose to, not even what causes it, but how men and women choose to act on that despair also is different.
Look at him trying to frame it. Look at him trying to frame it like the little weasel you are. Go ahead, little weasel.
Frame it. It's actually analyzing.
I'm going to half agree and change.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Well, ZHERKA, you have this very strange idea that if something is nuanced or complicated, and it kind of
why is everything nuanced to you people? Suicide
when
is
it goes
nuanced? Suicide, you're saying, is nuanced?
Yes. Why somebody commits suicide is a nuanced issue. Is this ZHERKA's first baby steps in the real world?
Hold on.
Wow, congratulations.
Hold on.
Dude,
Hunter, let me
how do you try to be a troll and you end up just looking like a fucking idiot?
Take the dildo out your ass.
Holy shit, this is embarrassing for you.
Hold on, Hunter, if you blanket all male suicide with the word despair, is that fair?
Well, they would all have despair, would they not? But why?
Yeah, that's pretty black and white, you fucking idiot. Like, use your fucking brain. Where's the nuance there? Where's the
why would they have that?
Well, actually, there's more things.
Exactly.
There's more things. His mom didn't text him back. And Ashley,
ZHERKA.
Ashley, don't.
Wait, what is the point you're trying to make right now?
How many chromosomes is Ashley at?
What? Wait. Can ZHERKA please explain what the point is he just made? If you say it's
made my point for me that if you can blanket a whole demographic of people, hang on a sec, nice and easy. If you can blanket them whole with one category of despair, you made my point for me, you idiot. It is black and white. There's no nuance in the word despair. You're gonna add it like actually his mom didn't text him back. He suppressed his emotions. 2% of them suppressed
Wait, a degree of which the
the
degree by which you have the despair to initiate suicide is going to vastly vary.
I gotta kick it over to Ashley and Alex.
How are you so?
I gotta
Alex,
kick it
I'm
over.
sorry,
I was just gonna ask a
Just to
question
be sure
real
they
quick.
get over it. Go ahead and Alex.
Oh, I was just gonna say this, ZHERKA, but can you agree that like two people could experience the same amount of despair? One of them might kill themselves, and one of them might not, based on how they deal with it. Like someone can deal with it way better than the other. So I think that's the point that Hunter's trying to make, is that of course, yeah, despair is a huge part of it, but some people deal with despair in such a way that they get through it, and some people deal with despair in a way that they kill themselves.
Ashley, any thoughts?
Yeah, ZHERKA, can you not admit that you're just literally trolling and saying the most like just absurd things for clicks and giggles, and like for the incels out there that you're just like, well, yeah, even look and say what I want, but you have absolutely zero evidence to back any of it up, because that's honestly what I'm seeing. Like you're just sensationalizing.
You're literally giving the I lost speech. Well, you must be a troll since I'm getting destroyed with the word despair.
No, you are. Your entire fucking
you haven't made
and
one
everything
point
you've
today.
said tonight.
Ashley, the only good point you made, the only good point we ever even talked about is that the dude after 12 years left you, right? But I'm telling you, everyone's supposed to be a troll when they're losing. Challenge the argument. Challenge the argument. Don't challenge the troll. Challenge the argument.
You have absolutely.
You're the one who said I've never been in long term. I guess girls can't.
I said that as far as I could tell from watching your content, I haven't seen a seriously long term relationship from you, and I've watched you yourself say that that's not really your goal right now. That your goal is just to
actually attack the argument. Why don't you attack the argument? Is all male suicide? Does all male suicide come from? Do you agree that all male suicide comes from despair? The fact that they feel alone in the world?
I think that is a very fucking stupid as hell argument. Yes, most things come from despair, most negative things, right? Any bad feelings of myself, any thoughts of harming myself or others, yes,
I said loneliness. I said loneliness. Not until I give you. I'll give you permission in a second. I said from loneliness. You agree?
No, you said from despair.
Yeah, despair from being alone, that they're going to end up alone. Try and download
the
you
whole
added
message.
That
later
You're
as I was answering your first question.
Let's kick it back over to Alex and Hunter.
Yikes.
Idiot.
Yeah, go ahead, Hunter.
Right, let's see if Hunter and Alex, do you have a lot of disagreement between each other?
I think we only disagree when it comes to degree. I think Hunter primarily thinks that correct me if I'm wrong, that the main reason for like all the issues that we have is because men are incapable of processing emotions, and I would say that's part of the issue, but I would say that it's not the main issue. I think that's where we agree about the problem, we agree about what's going on, we just disagree about the degree. And I guess there's no way I can like scientifically prove that. I mean, that's kind of more like we're just going to go with anecdotal experience.
Well, it's this interesting because we were talking a little bit about the suicide and whatnot, and ZHERKA was bringing up the despair thing. But so a big reason why men actually commit suicide disproportionately is not even that they are necessarily disproportionately suffering from mental illness. So this really interesting statistic, 60% of American males who died by suicide had no history of mental health issues. And so the reason that men are leading in suicidality is actually because of a lack of emotional regulation, and men are more impulsive. So women might be better at processing. Right, women might be better at processing the problem, right, and trying to work through it. Whereas men, if they feel there's no way out, they're more impulsive. They're gonna fucking take the trigger and be done with it.
But Hunter, I don't know if that's true because women try to kill themselves just as much as men. The big difference is that men typically succeed at it and women typically don't. So you'd have to say.
No, it's not just as much, Alex. It's more attempts.
Oh, women. So okay. So if women are more, I'm not saying why. I appreciate you clear. I appreciate you clearing up.
I know.
So if women are more suicidal, right? Then that would kind of dismiss that whole thing that men about. Right? It just seems that men typically are
no, because the reason they're committing suicide is going to be very different. So like women, for example, might be committing suicide because of struggles in regards to body image.
They don't.
Which is far more.
They literally don't.
Which is something that's far more difficult for women than it is for men.
Are we going to talk about
what I'm getting at though is that? Well, what I'm getting at though.
Sure.
Hold on, wait. What I'm getting at though is ultimately that the lack of emotional regulation leads to higher rates of impulsivity. So whether men are committing suicide at higher rates than women or not, men are committing suicide at high rates. We don't want men to kill themselves. So therefore, if we want men to have better emotional regulation and less impulsivity, therefore be less likely to kill themselves, we should be able to contend with this issue.
Yeah, and ZHERKA, I'm sorry, I do have a point, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Thank you. Thank you, ZHERKA. I appreciate that. You're almighty king. But I will say that, like, I think that part of it, and this is kind of where again, I'm friends with Alex. Like, I watch a lot of his content. I like his content, and I'm a supporter of it for most of the, I think that you've represented yourself well tonight, Alex, blah, blah, blah. So I'm confident saying
a star
that.
For Alex.
Yeah, ZHERKA, you're a fucking piece of shit troll. But what I'll say for this is that, like, Alex and people like him, not all PUAs, because a lot of pickup artists and dating coaches and that and the other that I found in the space tend to be kind of toxic. But one thing that Alex promotes, and ZHERKA, this is kind of, it's all gonna come together because
hopefully.
I'm sorry?
I said hopefully it all comes together, right? We're taking a long way home.
Are you done?
Oh, yeah. Mine's short and sweet.
Oh, you weren't done. Sorry, you're not? Are you? Can I?
Bring it on, Ashley.
Go ahead, Ashley.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so one thing I will say is that one thing Alex actually contributes to things that I've seen in the male genre, the male space, is that he advocates for men talking about how they feel, men talking about why they feel the way they do, the things that are actually affecting them emotionally as well as physically, et cetera, et cetera. And even when he brought up testosterone earlier, right? Like, he was bringing it up as a way that, like, hey, we need to have better diets. We need to exercise more. These are all positive things. And these are the kind of men that I can get on board with. These are the kind of men that, like, me as a feminist, I can be like, you know what? Like, he's right. Like, men
feminist?
do.
You're a feminist?
May I finish?
Let's hear the rest from Ashley. I'll give you another 30 seconds, Ashley, then we're going to move to anyone but John.
I'm sorry, I can't hear myself.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So when I hear men like Alex and others, which I haven't really found many in the kind of manosphere type space, which is where I discovered ZHERKA, I actually respect that because they are going for things that are actually productive and healthy and good. And they have a well-balanced kind of sense of right and wrong and how we can fix this. Now, even if I might disagree with this person on, you know, some kind of tiny little point here and there, I can honestly say that this is not a toxic, horrible human. People like ZHERKA are just toxic, and they're out there honestly just trying to get clicks, views, and likes because of the shit that they say. And that's where I just can't get on board. And I think that he contributes to the problem. And that was the point I wanted to make about, I guess, specifically the manosphere, since two of the people on the panel are directly from the manosphere. I thought it was relevant. Thank you.
Any other thoughts from...
I appreciate the kind words.
Appreciate the kind words too. I just didn't think it would take an hour and a half to build on that premise. Like, I'm glad you got it done, Ashley. But you could next time just say ZHERKA's a misogynist pig. You don't have to do that whole like.
I don't think you are. I think you're a phony and a fake. I think that you pretend to be a misogynist pig.
You took an hour to admit
you're just a closeted incel.
Yo, this feminist.
That is a way to get laid. Honestly, that's what I think. You use it as a way to play a character online, self-admittedly.
I'm not
but in reality, you're super insecure and you're kind of overweight. You've got a dad bod and a little pudgy belly, and you're just kind of icky. And you admit that you're bad in bed. So, like, these are the ways that you use. These are the things you do and say in order to get laid. Like, that's what I.
You know what's funny? It took you an hour. It took you an hour to admit you can't battle the arguments and that you've lost and you're triggered. And
right,
I'm like,
you're so
why
right,
are you triggered?
Because you started by saying...
Ashley, why are you mad?
Okay.
There's a man who spent 12 years with you. There's a man out there who spent 12 years with you. There's people who are rightfully angry that they wasted their time. Right?
Hey, ZHERKA, is it true? Did BX Bullet really sniff your boxers?
Yes, she did.
Okay.
No. That's a friend.
That's a prank. Oh, it was a prank. Okay.
No, I said it's a friend. Like, let's be honest, guys.
Oh,
I'm
a
not
friend.
Like you guys,
okay.
I'm not like you guys who are like, I hide my flaws on the internet to look like Ashley. Like, hey, I had a 12-year marriage, but it didn't work, and now I'm gonna give feminazi advice. I give you guys my flaws. I even tell you the girls that I've been with. That's how transparent I am. But I'm telling you, you guys are not making arguments for your side. You
well, the thing is I tried to talk.
Hunter, you guys conceded that men have become wimpier. Thank you, I guess. And now you guys just got to admit that you kind of enjoy this. You want to fit in with your little beta males, right? You actually want to play your little you guys play, you probably play checkers, not chess. You guys just don't have the IQ. But I'm saying, like, you guys want this soy world. Alex kind of doesn't, and I can't live in your world. You guys are going to hang me. I can't let you guys have power.
It's just weird that you talk about how you're a big, tough Sigma
alpha. Are you saying that because
alpha.
I'm half black?
I said it's kind of weird how you talk about yourself like you're a big, tough Sigma alpha male because you're open about your flaws, but yet I was open about my flaws and you called me a traitor. Remember, you called me Judas for leaving the right when I was open about my flaws. So it seems as though you're fine with flaws as long.
Let's hear it right now.
No, it sounds as
give us the reason right now on record. Why did you leave the right? Give it right now.
There was not one reason why. There were multiple reasons. One of them being that the right wing prioritizes
your wife brainwashed you, bro.
One reason being that the right wing aims to conserve tradition, even if it's at the expense of other people's rights. For example, conserving traditional marriage is more valuable to them than allowing for gay people to have their rights, their 14th Amendment rights be respected. Gay? That's just one reason why, though. If you want me to give you some other ones, I can. But
Hunter,
I don't know why
you're
so desperate to try to get me in a trap, and you failed every time.
It's not a trap, funny. Dude. No, dude, you were born in a trap. Okay, you don't have the DNA for debate.
I think that ZHERKA, I think that you are someone who is very unintelligent, and I think that you come on and do things like this because it's polarizing.
Don't cry, Ashley. Hold the tears in. Suppress it.
I am. I'm doing a good job of that.
Embrace your toxic masculinity.
I want to cry tonight, to be honest. Not you. You're irrelevant to me. But I do think that you, honestly, truly, like you have huge insecurities, and you also have these idealizations.
Maybe my insecurities come.
I'm talking. Do you know how to let anyone else talk? Like
I just got bored.
I'm just a vagina over here.
Bored. All right, go ahead, Ashley.
Yeah, thanks for allowing me to do this. I appreciate it, so that you can actually come back at me. But I think that you are an incredibly toxic.
Fast forward.
And you do this as a way simply to try to A, get laid, B, become kind of polarizing on the internet, C, get likes, views and follows. And
yes.
Here's the right, and you're doing a good job. Proud of you. Kudos.
Okay.
But here's the thing is that you are attracting the type of male that honestly believes the fucking shit and rhetoric you're saying when you're just playing a character. You are playing a character online. Like, in all honesty, you're just a big fucking nerd who never got laid until he was 20, and now here you are being like, I go into bars and you're using your internet clout because you got some overnight fame being an Andrew Tate, Myron Gaines type, right? I was around before them. Yeah, but nobody fucking heard of you before them. Why do you think that is? You are a loser. That's the whole thing. And you're getting off on making this this whole thing that you actually have something to say, when the truth is, here's what you are. ZHERKA.
Wrap it up. Let's go.
I'm going to continue to say these triggering statements that everyone knows isn't true because I know that they get likes and views, and I'm going to get laid because of it. And here I am coming on a debate panel completely unprepared, seemingly possibly drunk. I don't know, unless this is your normal self. I've seen you actually be way more calibrated than this. So it seems like you didn't take tonight very seriously. It seems like you're just kind of really super.
Actually, tonight I'm having.
I'm gonna take a piss.
Tonight I'm having a beer with your. Tonight I'm having a beer with your 12-year-long ex-husband. Tonight we drink to your bones because you're gonna die alone with this attitude. I'm trying to help you. You're gonna die alone.
Well, you're gonna die with a
You're being a feminazi. You're a feminazi. You're like Zeke Al and all that stuff. You're a Nazi. You're a feminist.
You know that the sex and relationship won't be good. So you're very pathetic. You're honestly way more pathetic than me. At least I lived.
What did your ex-husband look like? Did he look like me?
Why does that matter? Why do you care? I'm not going to dox my family and talk about them.
No, but did he look like me?
Fuck no. You admit you admit that you're not very good looking. You admit that you're not, and you aren't.
I do it so you guys don't harm yourselves.
Okie dokie.
This might be a good opportunity to go into the Q&A. We're going to move fast. Do want to remind you folks a couple of things. One, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. We have many more juicy debates coming up.
I won't be participating in them, but...
Oh, you
got it. We're going to jump into the Q&A.
He's just rage quitting.
Thank you very much for your question.
I'm not rage quitting. All right, I'm going to be here till the end, my guy.
This one from Malavia says, John, you're a failed comedian. Enough with the shtick. More people in this country go to the gym than at any other time in human history.
Okay, Chatter, you're right. I would trade lives with you.
This one,
I don't blame you.
Coming in from Von Zoom, says, much love, modern day debate. As an Army vet, John is correct on different physical standards. It's corporate America brainwashing people for profit.
Base.
I would agree with that largely too.
Any thoughts, anyone else?
Nope, no thoughts.
We're good.
By the way, Von Zoom, thanks for serving. Hold on, shut up. Would you shut up? Von Zoom, thanks for serving in our military. We do appreciate that. All right, ZHERKA, what insightful comments did you want to make?
Military.
What? Okay, whatever. Von Zoom
Can we
says,
thank the Army man for the
I
United
give you your chance. They say,
the
question
USA.
for Hunter. Would you agree that toxic masculinity is a marketing ploy?
No, I don't know what that even... I don't even know what that means exactly. How would it be a marketing ploy?
Juicy. This one coming from Thunderstorm says, stop eating soy. Alex, you been eating soy?
Yes.
This one
I haven't eaten
studies out there.
I haven't eaten soy in a decade. Soy is horrible for you as a man. I haven't eaten soy in like.
Well,
I eat a bunch of soy every day, and I think of ZHERKA while doing it.
We know. But Ashley, what is that?
It's not actually. There's actually studies out there refuting that soy increases your estrogen levels as men. That's anyway. It's a good source of protein. Plant protein is good.
What you guys got to do to...
It's also, just as a complete side note, it's also like dominated by one company, Monsanto, which are like horrible, the worst fucking...
Okay, that...
And they like are just guilty of so much shady shit, so either way.
I did watch that documentary.
And Monsanto, you know what's funny is Monsanto, just like every other billion-dollar corporation industry...
No one believes anything you say anymore.
All of them, what they all have in common is they're all liberal.
Yeah, what...
That's you guys... You guys are with
I don't think the companies are liberal or conservative. They just want to make.
Oh, really? They don't change their profile picture to the LGBT flag.
God, ZHERKA, you're so
cool. Really?
But that's because
are you kidding me, Alex?
ZHERKA, but that's because it makes them more money. They don't actually care about that. They just want the money.
That's my point. Is their side is evil with the corporations.
Right, but they just know that being liberal is going to get you more money and more.
So they're not all money. That they're not all liberal and evil. Because I mean, haven't you even heard people talk about how much Disney, for example, donates to like anti-LGBT politicians or whatnot? This notion that just because like they had a trans person on their Twitter account during Pride Month, like it means that somehow the liberal agenda is taking everything over. It's just
that's what I'm saying. It's not about principles. It's all about making as much money as possible.
Hunter, you're trying to combat ZHERKA with things that are called facts and actual research, and he doesn't have them. All he has are trigger statements and like.
I'm pretty sure ZHERKA is just getting off on everybody who gets mad.
Exactly.
Actually, you live in a closet. Look at my swimming pool, though. There's some failed comedian.
You share a house with a lot of other men.
Where are they?
We invited we invited like the frat boy.
No, you said it the other day. It's on stream. Like you share
Ashley's
a house
ex-husband.
with people who are
Ashley, it's your ex-husband. He's here.
I highly doubt that. All right, let's go to the next one. Von Zoom says, question for Ashley. You say, why are women, or in particular, why are you as a woman, telling men how to be men when you don't have the perspective of being a man?
Well, here's why. Because I was asked to come on this panel and debate our men becoming more feminine or wimpy nowadays. And so I agreed because I enjoy a good debate. And I think that as a society, men and women both equally share a part in how that goes forward. Do we not? Do we not? Yeah. So as a woman, I was asked to come here today and I was asked to give my point of view on this. And that's what I'm fucking doing. That's why. How's that?
Yeah, I do. Great. To be fair to Ashley, I want to give credit because one, it is true that Ashley's speaking on this because I invited her. So you might think like, but how, she should have turned it down. And I would say, no, she shouldn't have. Because one, I actually like it when people who are like not of the conventional, like who you'd expect being in the debate are actually in the debate. So for example, sometimes we have Canadians debating on whether or not the United States has good gun control. Like I like that because you're like, well, we should just have Americans. It's like, why does it just have to be Americans? So to be fair that way, so I also have to say Ashley has come into the Lion's Den tonight, so I do appreciate that, Ashley, because it is.
She got butchered.
There are some people out there are hostile, and so in the live chat, I do want to remind you not to attack the guests, as we do appreciate
it's
that.
It's all good.
Can I quickly read a comment I wrote for my chat?
Because
I think it's a good one.
Yes. What have you got?
I was just going to say.
I'm sorry. There's so many people talking at once.
No, go ahead, Ashley. You can finish. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, James, I'm sorry. Like, I honestly, like...
Oh, here we go with the apology.
Hold on. But ZHERKA, for real. Because I have to be fair. Like, Ashley, I was really hard on you. I do want to say this publicly.
I took it really hard.
It's fair. Oh, sorry.
It hit me bad, and like it kind of ruined my whole debate dynamic from there on out. I just felt like
that's why you lost.
All right, I've got John on mute. I hear you, Ashley.
It just kind of did kind of like, I don't know, just kind of ruined my whole like dynamic, and I shouldn't have let it. And it's a good experience though, because like for me, like I know that I need to be able to come back from this. I've gone through a lot of shit in the last few days in my personal life, and like, so I just not on my A game. But anyway, James, like
no, totally.
I just hope we're cool because
we're totally cool.
I'm
sorry for interrupting you. I just wanted to say, if I could go back, what I would not have said is because this is where I was like, I put extra sauce on it when I said like, I don't know how you could be so self-aware. I'm really sorry. That was me just being
I felt
cranky.
really attacked.
And you're right. Like I went beyond what I should have said. One reason that I'm like extra triggered tonight, and I should have said it before we went live. I should have just called you out then. And then it wouldn't have happened during the live stream. But the other thing is, no joke, during this debate, I've been like handling someone wanting to like get into legal stuff on Modern Day Debate. In other words, like after me, potentially. So that's why I'm like especially stressed. Although Alex can tell you.
My sister died 3 days ago.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
So for me, like I'm going through some shit right now, like honestly. And like no, just to be fair too, like I'm not on my A game. Perhaps I should not have come on tonight, but like I was looking forward to it. So like everything that's been happening, I'm just like really just maybe I shouldn't have come on tonight. Like this is pretty, but when you said that, it like, because you and I talk so much, I was like, oh shit. Like I just felt the world coming down on me and I was like, fuck, like.
I promise. No. Like I said, I've just been under stress. One time I told Daniel Hakikachu, a popular Muslim debater we have on, I basically told him in front of everybody during the debate that he was losing the debate. So like sometimes I go too far and I'm sorry about that. So we're cool. This one coming in from Coffee Lover.
Can I read the thing that I was going to say real quick? Or
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, this is just addressing the earlier point, but okay, it's going to seem like very out of context now. Fuck it. Big corporations are all about maximizing profit. Right now, there's more money in playing into the woke theme. That's the day that changes. These companies will completely abandon what they're saying now and become conservative. So it's all about money. It has nothing to do with principles. So that's the only thing I was going to say. All right, keep going. You
got it. Any thoughts on that? Anybody else? Okay, this one coming in from, do appreciate it. Coffee Lover says Von Zoom. They're responding to the person who originally said, "Why is Ashley as a woman, telling men how to behave?" And the Coffee Lover in a super chat responded to Von Zoom and said, "Why are men telling women how to be women when men have no perspective of that. In other words, I think they were saying like, why are you trying to pressure Ashley? So it's kind of like that old like, are you being judgmental by calling someone anyway? Not you. It's a bad. Ozzy and Talk says suicide rates dropped from 1950 to 2000. Why is this?
I would have to look at the stats about that. I thought that the suicide rates had like some fluctuation. I didn't think that there was a large decrease, but I
don't think there is. When did he say the suicide rate decreased?
2000.
If it is, it's extremely moderate, not substantial. As far as
I would think that I don't know. My best guess would be that mental health care and awareness has been made more prevalent and accessible. That would be my best guess.
We had a massive like rise in suicides, I believe, in like the 50s or 60s. Don't quote me on that, but one of those. And then there's something that happened like in the 70s or 80s where they started going down, but then it kind of did one of these. So I believe, as far as I understand, it's either equal or going up. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it looks like it's going up. I mean, if it were going down, then
yeah, that's the statistic I read too. So I don't know where he's getting it from.
No, ever since everyone got an iPhone and the highest purchasing power we've ever seen in consumer society, despair, anxiety, depression has skyrocketed. So I know the suicide rate went up. Everyone knows that. That's the whole point of these debates. And
that's actually a really good point, ZHERKA.
Yes, and where does all this despair come from? It's because we walked away from the church. Right?
Okay,
no.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
First and foremost, no, this is just complete bullshit. Second of all, I'm looking at the statistics here on Statista, and actually suicides peaked over here in 1990, especially for men. 2007 being when the iPhone came out, we only saw like a slight increase here from 18.1 to now we're at 22.8. So still an increase over time, but it's not like there's this stark, huge uptick because people left the church or something. That's no.
Well, I mean, since the 1960s sexual revolution, that's really when all the problems started. Because when the Americans were a God-fearing society, they didn't have these problems of like getting roofied at bars and like not every girl's getting fucking molested at parties and all this disgusting.
That's because back then,
because women were married, they were taking care of kids.
No, because actually the time in which you're referring to being the 50s and 60s, domestic abuse and rape was not even usually processed as a legal problem. It was treated specifically, actually, child molestation by.
Hold on.
Was treated
fake news.
A greatest fake news.
The greatest fake news I've ever heard. You're telling me women deal with more molestation and creeps now or in 1950s?
What I'm saying is,
bite the bullet.
No, what I'm saying is, I don't know. It would probably
just answer directly. What do you think? You don't have to know.
It seems like there's more now, but that's because it wasn't or it wasn't recorded.
I think more so now because.
Well, hold on, wait. Sorry, Emily. ZHERKA, are you lost, my friend? Are you okay right now? Are you?
Again, can we
say when you're losing? Answer the.
Social
you know what's funny is
I have told you already that.
This is why I troll. Because this is why I like to troll, because you're not answering me. You're not even debating. You're just.
No, you like to troll for clicks and views.
Are you talking to me right now? How am I not debating?
And so you can live in your little.
Fucking soy boy retard seizure. Answer the fucking question. Do you agree that there's more creeps and molestation now or in the 1950s? Obviously,
the reason is because of social media technology.
I literally acknowledged you, and I said it seems like you're
taking a break.
No, shut the fuck up, ZHERKA.
You don't have any more.
You want to get everybody pissed off.
We ran out of L's.
You're getting.
No, in the 1950s, we could not go online and elicit young men or young women into sexual situations. Okay.
Oh, because of the digital age. That's the difference. Is that your argument? Your argument is that the digital age is what expanded it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only thing, right? That's the only thing.
It's a completely valid argument.
It sure seems like there's more creeps nowadays, but that's because you're comparing it to a time like the 1950s.
Just here,
when that wasn't being tracked very well. So there's no way by which we can actually
Nor
measure.
was the accessibility even close to the accessibility that
and let's not forget
now.
let's not forget one tiny little variable for you little DNC run Satanists. The women were at home with kids. If there was a rape or molestation, it would have been marital, which the statistics are so fucking low, it's not even worth talking about.
That's because marital rape was not considered rape at the time. You're actually making the argument for me.
The point I'm making
marital
is
rape at the time was specifically not counted.
Just don't
hold on, Hunter. Hunter,
is
it worse to be
Zerka, in your own words, bite the bullet.
Is it worse to be a woman 2023? If you're a woman, let's say you believe. Okay, Hunter. Let's say you want to
answer this question.
Let's say you want to cut.
No, please. He's asking me a question. I can answer. It is the worst is to be a woman who exists in the same time period as you, Zerka. That's the correct answer.
Oh yeah.
It's the objectively correct answer.
That's cute. Okay.
Let's go to the next one. I do want to say thank you very much for your question. Alternate Keck says Hunter keeps accusing John of being abusive. Low IQ. Did you?
My feelings are hurt. Hey, can we have a group therapy session again?
To whoever put that in the chat, I don't know if maybe they've been watching it. I think they may have been watching like a different stream and then donated on the wrong super chat.
Roger drinking water.
I have not accused anybody of abuse this single time. This
Did she attack me for drinking water?
This one from Von Zoom says, apologies, James. No disrespect intended. See, Ashley, there was even actually a person in chat that I got into a quarrel with. So I'm just I'm a little bit more testy tonight.
No, shit happens, bro.
This one from...
I'm sorry, too.
Totally cool. No worries. It's the internet.
Shit
all
happens,
of its
man.
water
Shit
under
happens.
the bridge.
It's the internet.
This is Von Zoom. Von Zoom, for real, no problem. Don't worry about it. I just get annoyed when people try to tell me what to do. But all is forgiven, Von Zoom. Night Shift 1 million says, men today are totally too soft. And also said, is that Hunter Avallone or Weezer? If you want to destroy my sweater, pull the thread and walk away. Is that a Weezer?
If you want to destroy my sweater.
I think that's a Weezer lyric, maybe. Yeah.
Wow. The good old days.
And walk away.
I
love it.
Good middle school days. This one from Night Shift 1 million says, goodness, Ashley. Let's see, you're not a fan of you, Ashley.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. I can handle it.
Thunderstorm says, as a blue-eyed 6-foot white man, I'm not paying attention. Hi, Ashley, with a smiley face. What does that mean?
He's trying to switch.
Is he trying to seduce Ashley? This is Peter Zadi.
I seriously doubt that.
Peter Zadi says, any fathers in the panel, not a father, not a man. Woo!
I win. Suck it, Zerka.
Yeah, but yes. You win until your kid grows up and realizes his dad is a Democrat.
See, that's such a better. Wait, come on, dude. No, Zerka, please. You had the chance.
Aren't you worried about that day?
Zerka, like, you could have. Zerka, you could have said, no, Hunter, you would have won. But then you could have said, Hunter, you would have won until you get a DNA test. You could have roasted me so much better, dude.
Is it a boy or a girl?
I have a boy and a girl.
God bless you. Wow.
Oh, I love it. How old are they, Hunter?
Are you teaching them?
I'm just a little bit disappointed that Zerka had a chance to actually roast me and kind of butchered it.
I'm not roasting you. I'm asking the honest question.
He can't actually roast anything or anyone. He's a moron. That's the point, Hunter.
Ashley, thank you for telling the world you're triggered. Don't apologize. That's weak. That's
not
feminine.
To you. No, to Hunter.
Okay, well, Freudian slip. I think it was towards me. But Hunter, are you going to also?
That's not the definition of a Freudian slip.
Hunter, are you going to teach your son to cut his dick off?
You're so fucking stupid.
Like the rest of your friends? Are you going to teach your son to cut his dick off, Hunter? What are you going to teach your son about friends? Yeah, what if you answer that? What are you going to?
In order to keep my son safe, I'm going to keep him away from people like you who are obsessed with children.
Are you going to teach your kid to cut his dick off? Let's go to the next one.
No, I'm going to say stay away from the guy talking about your penis.
What if your son
stay away from the? No. I'm going to say, Timmy, you see the adult man over there? Stay away from him. Okay.
This one coming in from Ozzy Talk says, Zerka, in the meta debate about you, why did Ashley beat you?
Can you refresh my memory? Which part? I don't remember actually winning ever in life.
This one coming in from Hake of the Hake Report. Amazing. Says, shout out, let's see, to the gentlemen, ladies, ma'am, males, and females. Thank you for that. Agent Black says, big up to Hake for that donation. Much respect. Wow.
Wait, James, I got a question.
What is it?
Like, what do you think? Do you think if Hunter's son wants hormone blockers at 14 and to cut his dick off, like, what do you think Hunter's going to say? Is he going to be very progressive there, or is he going to change his tune?
You'd have to ask Hunter what his thoughts
Hunter,
are.
yeah, I'll ask Hunter. You're right. James is too good looking for me. Go ahead, Hunter.
I'd be more than happy to talk with you about who is better looking. Maybe we can have a conversation about the kids' genitals that you seem very
what happens if your kid? It's a genuine question. What happens if your kid wants to
and I would be more than happy to give you a genuine answer when you want to come on my stream and talk. When this has nothing to do with the subject.
Won't do it here.
Well, we're ending the debate panel is supposed to end in 3 minutes.
Just a yes or no. Just a yes or no. If your kid wants to,
my food's about to be here and whatnot. So
your food,
my soy. I ordered.
You are my
some
food.
Soy
you got
milk.
ate alive. I ate you alive today. You are my food today.
All right.
You're my
let's
Uber
go.
Eats today.
Okay, let's go to the next question, and then it's totally okay, Hunter. What I'm going to do is any questions that are for you, I'm going to read them, and then I do want everybody to agree. If Hunter has to leave the Zoom call in 2 minutes, I want everybody to agree that you're not going to talk about him after he leaves, because that wouldn't be fair when he's not here to defend himself.
I would never.
Hunter, if you have to go, it's totally okay. Because
if there's any more thumbnail, if there's any more questions for me, yeah. But if not, I am going to have to split.
I have one question for you, Hunter.
Hey, Hunter, it was hold on, my turn. Hunter, it was nice debating with you tonight. You're a cool dude. Nice to meet you. I've watched a lot of your stuff, and I've actually shared a lot of your stuff in the past. So.
Very base. Well,
which Hunter?
So appreciate it.
The successful Hunter, or did you
I've debated with your wife before too, by the way.
Me too.
So have I. Yeah.
Well, either way, I appreciate. Thanks so much, James, for having me on. ZHERKA, once again, I appreciate you sucking me dry multiple different times today. That's been very nice.
What if your son wants
either way,
to
have
cut
the
his
rest
dick
of
off, Hunter?
good rest of your day. And
Dad,
ZHERKA, why don't we have another debate?
Dad,
Hey,
Dad,
ZHERKA,
I want to cut my dick off. Is that okay?
ZHERKA.
Is that okay? Can I cut my dick off?
All right.
Guess I'll just.
God, he's so gross.
Again, ZHERKA, we can talk sometime else, but again, if you could please stop talking about children's
You're just
genitalia,
like a
that might be good
walking
for you.
meme.
But thanks, James.
Thank you, Hunter. Have a good night.
Take care, dude.
What I'm going to do is adjust the pictures on Zoom in case they get scrambled, or I should say OBS in case they get scrambled. So if you're watching live here at Modern Day Debate, want to let you know why the screen looks that way. It's just because Zoom readjusts when someone has to leave. I'm going to put a poll in the chat here at Modern Day Debate. So if you're watching live over at Playing with Fire or anywhere else, I'm not sure where else it might be streamed, you can come over and vote on this poll on whether or not men today are men today more wimpy.
I have to go to the bathroom so bad. I've been holding it for like an hour. I'm so sorry. I'll BRB super quick.
Go for it.
ZHERKA, I had no idea you had this much conflict with Hunter. What's the backstory? I think everyone's curious.
Well, let's not without him being here. I just don't. I know that it's possible ZHERKA could give the backstory without slamming Hunter, but I do really. I don't think he's going to do that.
That's fine. That's fine.
So I hate to do that. Sorry for shutting you down, Alex. But this one coming in from, bear with me, folks, as I fix the screen. I'll ask the next question at least. Vile Van Gogh says, does Hunter think Scooties originating from universities overwrought with feminist queer ideology, claiming, quote, masculinity is bad, can be trusted? What are Scooties or Scuddies?
I have no idea.
Is that a bad word? Okay, ZHERKA, I'm letting you out of your cage for a second.
Yes, James. No, basically, I don't like traitors, like political traitors, because you guys got to remember.
All right, not about Hunter though.
Well, I'm not talking about it. But I'm saying why I dislike feminists and stuff like that is you got to remember the first time I ever dealt with the thought of suicide was I lost my dream jobs. I lost all my friends to jokes I was making that were too edgy. So I lost my whole world to this liberal world, and now I'm fighting back, and I'm winning, and I'm ruthless, and we are taking over. This is dark MAGA and this bitch. And so when you guys think I just wake up angry, no, I'm at war with evil. These people, I never done anything to the liberal world. They just started coming up to me and trying to get my son to cut his cock off and shit. And so they started the war. So don't think I'm an aggressor. I'm a reactionary.
You got it. And this one coming in from Stay Curious says, I don't think I've ever seen a bigger fool than ZHERKA. Wow. ZHERKA.
Yeah, your mom's a whore. Tell that chatter his mom's a whore.
All right. This one from Agent Black says, we got that one. Ozzy and Talk says, non-wimps, Alex, Ashley, and Hunter. Wimps, John. All right. This one from Vile. This one from Alternate Keck, we got that one. The Trib One says, does Alex like ZHERKA as his debate running mate?
Yeah, we get along.
Yeah, me and ZHERKA get along, except for the fact that he's been ghosting on me recently. But aside from that, we're cool.
No, I'll be on this week. But the problem I have with Alex is the same problem I have with everyone. Alex believes there's like a middle ground where you can actually like compromise with these kind of Satanists, and they will turn on Alex. Like, one in the chat, if you agree, Alex is going to build friends like Ashley and Hunter, and they're going to turn on him. They're going to make up some allegations and destroy his whole career. And then I get to do the I told you so parade. So I'm not that much more extreme than what he's actually thinking. It's just he wants to move in a political way, and I think it's dangerous to, make friends and allies with people who have no soul. Like they sold their soul.
That may all be true. I don't know what that has to do with I don't know. Like,
I'm saying we agree a lot. Like, if
I know.
Admit it.
You agree a lot, but
you know what's funny, ZHERKA?
Alex is also more intelligent than you, and actually uses stats and data when he debates and argues things
when
rather
you
than
talk,
just.
it sounds like you're having every time you speak. Actually, it sounds like you're having. It sounds like you're having. Here it comes. Here's 1,000% damage. Hang in there. When you speak, it sounds like you're having an aneurysm. Like, there's no momentum. You go, well, exactly. Alex is more intelligent.
And this is how somebody is differentiated.
You're doing it again. Here's the aneurysm. Your brain is
why you and Alex are on different levels, because you are just a troll with no intelligence who uses ad hominems and just trigger words and statements.
No, your
Alex,
ex-husband was the troll.
Exactly. See, like, you have
He
no
trolled
idea
you for
about
12
anything.
years.
We've got to move.
You're being disgusting right now, and like Alex actually pulls up stats and data and has real conversations.
Hold the tears in.
Which is why his longevity.
Are you going to take me to the principal's office?
We've got to go to the next one.
Anyway, I just want to say it's why Alex's longevity is going to outlast yours, ZHERKA, because the gun emoji, cool. Somebody clip that.
Is this dangerous? Is this triggering?
This coming in from, I've got to do this. I hate to do it, but I do have to move on.
Creep.
This is from The Trib One. Says, it's amazing how much ZHERKA derails, seems planned. Can all give their take on if women will start ultimately taking charge, or if men will get better emotionally and get back on track as far as leading goes?
I don't see it getting better.
I don't see it getting better.
Ashley, watch out! I got a weapon.
Hold on, we got to give her a chance to
Ashley, I got 2 weapons. Watch out! Pew, pew, pew.
You understand that it is
dumb Democrats.
No, it's actually just the symbolism, bro. I would never make a.
Were you attacked by finger guns before? Maybe.
It's the symbolism of you saying that you would shoot somebody because you don't like them. Yes, that's very funny.
Okay, we're going to the next one. Let's see. This one from
James.
Poncho says, I don't blame ZHERKA for trolling. It's hard to keep a straight face with someone promoting the idea that you should whine to your girl. I don't remember that. Never mind. We'll go to the next one. This one
talking about Hunter Avallone.
All right, let's go to the next one. The Trib One says, can all give... To be fair, that's I don't know if that's the most charitable way of framing Hunter's argument since he's not here. Well,
right.
But this one from the Trib One.
Watch out, James! I'm all over the road, according to Ashley.
This one says hates stairs. Says, honest question: why give ZHERKA any airtime or platform? He derails every debate ever. Well, we do want to give everybody a shot, as long as they're within YouTube terms of service, which, John, you get close sometimes. I don't even know about the R word, so I'm a little bit uncomfortable with the stream. I've got to check on that.
No, you're good on that. I use that word all the time on my channel.
Okay, that is in terms of service?
There's no problem.
Even then,
no, James, I wouldn't hurt you. I haven't said the N word once today. Like, I'm doing great for you guys.
I do want to... One thing that, that I have to consider, but I'll talk about it in the after show. Folks, so I've got a few more questions to go through. We'll have an after show where I'll talk about, it's not going to be about anyone in particular. It's just about like what words are allowed on Modern Day Debate, because even if terms of service allows it, there are some words that I'm like, well...
You don't want your image, yeah.
it makes me wonder. It's like if I say like, hey, we want everybody to feel welcome, but then ZHERKA's calling people a retard. It's like, well, does everybody feel welcome? But I've got to mull that over. It's something I am considering. But as much as I love everybody telling me how to run modern day debate, if you're in the live chat right now, I haven't even looked, but if you're in the live chat telling me which way to go, don't do that. I'm tired of people trying to tell me how to lead modern day debate. This one from Kyle James says, ZHERKA, have you considered getting a Subway tattoo?
Honestly, just to piss James off, I feel like with my platform, James, I can get. You got $65,000 worth of free sandwiches?
50,000.
Okay, I think I could get 65. I could top you if I called that. Is he a pedophile? The guy?
ZHERKA, maybe you could lose weight if you went on a diet program like that. That would be really good for your dad.
Actually, help me. I want to be as ripped as you.
ZHERKA is, or not ZHERKA.
Yeah, you should want that.
Fucking hilarious.
Absolutely.
Actually, every time you speak,
maybe your erection would last long enough to please a woman without yelling.
Right, tell it to your ex-husband.
The Trib One says, "Is Alex happy or sad that ZHERKA was his partner?" You don't have to answer, Alex.
No, I'm cool with ZHERKA. I'm cool with ZHERKA. I like ZHERKA. You know, minus the fact that he ignores me on Discord. We're cool.
To be fair, Alex likes everyone, which is part of what I love about him.
Zen 2011 says.
By the way, it's a random side note. ZHERKA, your brother was asking me for Tinder help. I helped him a little bit.
My brother?
Yeah, he messaged me.
Wow.
My brother doesn't use media.
On Instagram, yeah. He said he was your brother.
Oh, dude, that's not my brother. My brothers are both professionals. Like,
it was using that username that we did the call from. So it was a username that you have access to, unless it's one of your friends.
Oh, it's definitely someone trolling you.
This one coming in.
I'll send you the screenshot later.
So it sounds just like your brother.
No, my brothers are professionals. And honestly, why I troll is because you didn't answer any of that. Like, when you rewatch this debate, Ashley, you're going to realize that every time Ashley speaks, you prove to the world you're an idiot. You didn't answer one. Like, nothing. You just, it's like, are you the troll?
I wasn't really allowed to, ZHERKA. So, but
oh, yeah, because there's Gestapo.
If you ever want to,
James brought the Gestapo, right? You liberal white women got to stop talking over immigrants like me.
ZHERKA,
you liberal white women got to...
Go ahead, Ashley. What's up?
If you would ever like to have a follow-up debate, I would be very happy to answer anything you have to say. I'd be very happy to do that. Incredibly, actually.
This one coming in from, do appreciate it. The Trib One says, was ZHERKA derailing on purpose for ZHERKA and James? ZHERKA does interrupt an awful lot, but I don't know whether or not...
It's not derailing to get to the fucking point. Like, does everyone want to hear Ashley go in fucking circles just to, like, she took 40 minutes to say ZHERKA's toxic, but Alex is cool. I give Alex the feminist card. Like, he gets a pass. Bro, that's time wasting. That's like, we're here for Ashley trying to generate a thought for 40 minutes. Are we really here for that? I get to the point. So I say, hey, Hunter.
We are definitely here for that.
Look how quickly I get to the point. I go, Ashley, let me ask you, if you had a son, would you, he's a teenager, and he said, Mommy, I want to cut my dick off and be progressive like my friends.
You asked Hunter that, not me.
Would you be cool with that, Ashley?
You asked Hunter that, not me.
I'm asking you right now.
So you're wrong.
I literally said I'm asking you right now.
Like, no, you didn't. You said you asked me earlier. You're wrong.
Okay, all right, let me try it again. Okay, I'm asking you right now.
No,
Ashley,
we can do this in our follow-up debate. My
Why
guy.
can nobody answer a simple yes or no?
We've got to move.
Are you derailing? Are you derailing me?
That's why.
We've got to move to the next one.
I'm totally derailing you.
Okay, wait, Alex. If
you're so
hold on.
I hate to do this. ZHERKA, we got to move on to the next question.
I'm having a mental breakdown, James.
I hate to do this.
Alex.
We can tell,
I hate to do this. We have to go to the next one. Kyle James asks ZHERKA, I'm sure this will be insightful. Do you think James is a powerful man?
Honestly, I know James's background. You believe in God. You've debated for it too, which was kind of awesome, very based. And I know that you're the type of guy that you're just inclusive with everyone. Sometimes you let some demons on like Ashley and stuff, but you're definitely made. Like, the one thing we all click on your channel for is how you run it, not how those stupid crybabies in your chat who sent they sent $2 to change your whole business strategy. You run it correct. You're inclusive, right? Like, I don't even know how you get like Ashley and all the people who were dropped as children. But my question is, Alex, this is to you. If your son came up to you at 15 and said, "Dad, I want to cut my dick off," what would you say? Would you say yes or no?
I would do my best to talk them out of it.
Thank you for answering that. Look at that, one honest man in the panel, right?
You never asked me.
I don't think I would like disown my son or something. I would just do my absolute best to like talk them out of it.
Yeah. What about you, Ashley?
Did not ask me that, ZHERKA.
Do you have the courage to answer, Ashley? Is your liberal overlords watching? Are you afraid to answer this one? Is this too much?
You don't even know me. You know nothing about me, and you're
Why not answer it?
Assumptions,
Why not answer it?
Which is what makes you a weak debater.
Why not answer it, Ashley?
You're
this is your chance.
Debater.
This is your chance, Ashley.
No, my chance is here's the thing. My chance is when I challenge you to have a debate between me and you. That's when.
All right, I'll come on your shit. I'll come on your shit if you answer it.
Listen, ZHERKA, I'm having a post-debate stream. If you'd like to come on.
You're having post-traumatic stress disorder from losing this one. Please answer. Would you let your child cut their dick off?
You're deflecting. James has a panel to run, and he's got to move on, bro. If you want to debate me on this, come see me after this, because I will fucking own you, you bitch.
Ooh, kinky. Okay, this one coming in from Dragon Stan. He says, ZHERKA seems to be doing well, considering he said he had leukemia. Keep up the good work, Modern Day Debate. Did you have leukemia? You recovered from leukemia?
Absolutely. As soon as Dan Dangler gives the money to the charity she scams, I heal 100%. So I'm just going to platform Dan Dangler scammed the charity. She needs to give the money to the cancer charity. I
have a feeling this is bad for me legally, whoever you're talking about. Let's go to the next one. Yadi, Ian, Hunter, and Ashley, would your one-liner advice be to someone who feels unattractive and may be seduced by the toxic masculinity culture to reconsider?
I don't quite understand that question. Please reread.
If there's a soy boy who feels like they've been duped by the toxic masculinity, I better not be tough, I better be soy, what advice would you give them?
Okay, so I'm sorry, I did get that, and he said, would your best advice be to reconsider? Okay, so I suppose, reconsider, and also just look at maybe a lot of things that were said tonight by, your boy, John ZHERKA, who is a self-admitted, I use these tactics as a ploy and a trick and a way to get women into bed with me, even though really in real life, I'm a nerd who's a gamer that was never good at getting girls, and I lost my virginity when I was 20, but now,
when did
I
you
can
lose
yell
it?
at them, and what does that matter? You want to go into that?
You probably lost it early, right? You lost it early.
17 years old.
Ew, you're a fucking, that's a child.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what number I see, ladies and gentlemen.
No wonder
it doesn't matter. No, actually,
no wonder you're deteriorating.
It was 13. It was 13. I lost it when I was 13.
Yeah, no, you already said 17.
I'm joking. It was when I was 21.
No, it was 17. I was
21. I was 21.
No, it was 17. You already
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
This one coming.
Yes, it does.
This one from Hake, 90 going north, says, happy AAPI month / Mother's Day, parentheses, they have second mothers and are doing the best, and are masculine as heck. What is AAPI?
He's saying Ashley's masculine.
Absolutely, I am. I'm very masculine. Lots of testosterone pumping through these things, which actually, that's a point I wanted to make earlier. So testosterone is also prevalent and evident in women's blood work. And the higher the testosterone level in women, the higher the sex drive. So just wanted to say,
Juicy. This one from Kyle James says, Hunter / Ashley. Let's just go with Ashley. Do you think Democrats or Republican men are stronger physically?
Do I think Republicans or Democrats are stronger physically?
Right.
On average.
On average, I think there's
that's like
no
plumbers
way I could
versus
answer that.
Silicon
That's
Valley.
ridiculous.
Give her a chance. I want to actually hear what she's got to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous question. I've known so many from each side that are incredibly masculine.
I think they're asking an average, though.
On average,
Like if you took like, you know how to, like, you add everybody's
Republican
score.
or Democrat, I don't think there's any way you could say that, because look at the diversity of the United States. Like if you go to like the red states and blue states, I think that the better way to answer that question is how liberal or how unliberal, like how liberal do you want to be and how much does that affect your masculinity?
He's dodging again. Dodging
no,
is
I'm not.
way worse
I'm not.
than
I'm actually answering a question in a way
you're
that's
not.
like
You're not even answering it.
It's actually thoughtful, and it's actually putting data and stats and facts into things rather than you who just likes to say something.
Okay, let me help you.
Clickbait.
Let me help your.
You're
okay,
such a fucking bitch. You are the biggest bitch I've ever met in my life. I bet your penis is tiny. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I have a lot.
Bet it is, though.
My penis is tiny. I have so much.
I know. You said you're very bad at sex. I get it.
I know. No, I have so much.
You
my penis is
probably need Viagra. You know you can get that online.
I'm telling you, my penis is tiny. I need Viagra, and I have a lot.
No, I believe it. You've said it yourself online.
I'm telling you right now.
You want to see him say this? Go back and watch
I'm telling you from the bottom of my
him,
heart,
where he literally admits that he's terrible in bed.
Yeah,
and then he literally just uses he's so full of shit.
Ashley, I admit I have a small penis. I need Viagra. I have all the flaws of the man that abandoned you.
Okay, cool.
This one coming
and
in.
Ashley, can I help you answer the question? Here,
no, you can just shut the fuck up and like everyone can just know that you have a tiny penis and you're bad in bed. Like we get it.
Remember, Ashley, the difference from Republicans and Democrats is Democrats, liberals, they score much higher. Just hang on. Just keep your keep the peanut brain under control. The impulses.
My peanut brain, right? Yes. Okay, your peanut penis. Got it.
Okay, so the difference from liberal men and conservative men is liberal men score very high.
I'm just gonna start like using your fucking tactics on you. You are such a cringe piece of shit, no brain loser. That's
we'll go to the next one.
Get it out of your system, Ashley. Wait.
Can I actually answer the question, because it's an interesting question. So
you'll never answer. It's been 20 minutes.
Alex, go ahead, sir.
I'm going to preface what I'm saying, that I'm probably like closer to Democrat than Republican, but yeah, I think definitely Republican men are going to be on average more masculine than Democrat men from what I've seen.
And can I answer too? Liberal men score a lot higher in openness and agreeableness. That's why 90% of pedophiles are liberals. And conservative men, they don't actually agree with everyone. They become lawyers, doctors, they become plumbers, surgeons. But liberal men become like painters.
And what have you become? What have you become?
I've become your tormentor.
You've become a loser who sits online and spews out rhetoric from Andrew Tate and Myron Gaines and guys who have made it. And you pretend to be some fucking alpha male. What have you become, you loser? Fuck, just mock yourself, bitch. Just mock yourself.
We're gonna move to the next one.
What
this
a
one from
nasty,
Stay Curious.
What a nasty, what a nasty
I have to go to the next one. This one, Stay Curious says, ZHERKA, how big do you think BBCs are? Okay, you don't have to answer that.
Yes, I do. James,
British Broadcasting Company.
I'll tell you this much, okay? BBCs are so big that anytime I see a white guy with a big dick, I say, you betrayed our race, right? I don't want to be around them because it's just
sorry.
Well, I'm just saying that black men are born genetically superior in the cock area.
You're born genetically predispositioned to want to look at men's dicks. We get it.
Ashley XD says
Ashley's
great
husband
stuff.
did
All
not
right,
have
I gotta
a
go.
BBC.
I gotta go to the next question.
Yeah, to CNN.
They say great stuff, guys. Love the back and forth. Hope you all have a great night. Thank you for that. Hake says, shout out to the people dropped as BBS. What does BBS mean? Anybody know that?
No idea.
Me neither. They also, okay. Hake said, when he said earlier AAPI, he said happy AAPI Day or Mother's Day. He said that means Asian American and Pacific Islander Month. Is it their month? Wow.
I'm a pretty bad fucking liberal for not knowing that, I guess.
I didn't know that either. Let's see here. I'm checking.
James, would you agree that Ashley is like, you know, like very low IQ?
Would you, James?
I have to go to the next question. As much as I like you trying to drag me into your debate, this one coming in from, oh, actually, we're all caught up. Want to say, folks, we don't want to keep our guests here all night. They've got a lot of stuff going on. We want to let them go, want to let them rest. Want to say we do appreciate all of our guests, even ZHERKA to some extent. We want to say, there's a last question. Kyle James says, ZHERKA, do you think liberals have any courage? It's pretty obvious that's meant to...
Of course they do not. On average, liberal men do not defend their women. When women are being punched in the street by men, liberal men are nowhere to be found. It's always some toxic masculine guy saving
Where's
the
your
day.
data?
Use your eyeballs, okay? And here's my data. Here's my data. You want data? I'll give you data, okay? Okay, save it for the BBC, Ashley.
That's you. That's the definition of you, ZHERKA.
I'll give you the data.
You are a big nothing. You are a big nobody. You are a big loser with nothing.
Okay. All right, let me give you the data. Do you at least agree that? Do you at least agree that liberal men don't go into trade? And
so your data is trust me, bro. I'm painting my nails.
No. I'm asking
you are so fucking lame. Oh my god.
Are you done? So do you agree, Ashley, that liberal men go more into the arts, music, painting, and not into trade?
I agree that you are going off of a stereotype that you have zero data. You have no data.
Ashley,
give me a statistic. Show me real data. Show me something. I'm calling you out, bro. Show me something. Where's the data?
Nobody disagrees. Nobody disagrees that liberal men are more artsy.
Put one in the chat. That's my fucking data. Shut the fuck up. You are so fucking pathetic.
So you disagree with that?
I'm going live after this, guys. I'm going to roast this motherfucking piece of shit. Like, oh, I have so much more to say. He is such a stupid ass piece of shit bitch. And he has no data to support anything other than trust me, bro, and it helps me get laid to be more toxic. You fucking piece of shit. We're going to move into the next
one. 2 seconds as I load the screen. Want to say thanks very much, folks, for watching. At the Modern Day Debate community, we have some controversial topics and some controversial people, because our philosophy here is if ideas, or you could say the arguments, are better on one side, well, then those arguments will prevail. And so, Kyle, we got that one. Any, in terms of the defense of liberals and courage, does anybody have any thoughts? Well, Ashley just said, where's your data? Okay, fair enough.
I could comment on that.
What do we got?
I mean, I think on average, if we're talking averages, that yes, like liberal men are probably going to be more wimpy. But I would say there's definitely some very tough fucking liberal dudes, and there's some very weak beta conservative men, like all the closet, the dudes who are like fucking putting on girls' panties behind closed doors.
I wonder.
So I think like in averages, ZHERKA's probably right, but this is not like an absolute by any.
No, I really wonder how many UFC fighters are against Trump. I really wonder that.
What the fuck does that matter? You're so fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, ZHERKA, that's a little bit different because Dana White has a very close relationship with Trump, and they look up to Dana White, and therefore by default they're going to look up.
No. Most fighters, like most successful athletes, will be individualistic in thinking and more conservative.
This one,
yeah. I mean, what Trump
you think Antifa is going to become a fucking quarterback?
No, but I think like Trump has been to like almost every UFC fight, so they're gonna want to be in favor of someone who supports them. I don't think
ZHERKA's gonna be.
I don't think Biden has ever. I don't think any Democrat has ever been to a UFC fight. So yeah, I think.
Let's look at Floyd Mayweather, very pro-Trump. When you look at athletes, they're always pro-Trump because they're not Antifa, they're not collectivists. What is the? Actually, you are having a mental breakdown. This is not a good look for you, darling.
Right? Yeah, nothing.
ZHERKA, are you more in favor of Trump or DeSantis?
Trump. DeSantis is a Fed. He's literally with the DNC.
You don't think Trump is?
Absolutely not. Trump is the reason Ashley's having a fucking mental breakdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
She sees Trump in me.
You have no idea.
ZHERKA, is there any political candidate
piece of shit? Like
ZHERKA, is there any political candidate you prefer to Trump, or is he your number one?
In all of history, I like JFK. I like Nixon. But Trump will be my favorite because he came in a time where I was losing everything to women like Ashley. You know, she's like the HR department trying to get
glad
fired.
that we know what's triggering about me now is that women like me who are so fucking amazing and based and smart and beautiful turned you down.
I don't know about that.
It makes a lot more sense now. It honestly does. It makes a lot of sense. I don't blame you either. I would hate women like me too.
Actually, you're the most gracious loser I've ever seen.
I know, I am. I'm the most gracious, based loser who's obviously turned dick like you down 1,000,007 times, and that's why you're triggered.
Not even in my night. Actually, not even in my night.
Every time I try redirecting, I fail.
This one from last question of the night. Stay Curious says, thanks for being such a great mod, James. Thanks, Stay Curious. We appreciate your kind words. We are going to wrap up with that. I want to say, folks, if you haven't subscribed yet, do subscribe. We have many more juicy debates coming up here at Modern Day Debate, as we are a neutral platform hosting debates on science, religion, and politics. I'm going to share some of our philosophy about the channel in the post-credit scene for a few minutes. So stick around, as I'll be back in just a few minutes to let you know more about Modern Day Debate, why we are willing to host virtually anybody and nearly every topic. So with that, thank you very much to our speakers, Ashley, ZHERKA, and Playing with Fire. It's